Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
All right, this is Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're here at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77071, broadcasting live. Classes are Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m., Friday from 6 to 9 p.m., and then we have today's class, Saturday class is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you have any questions during the course of the class, during the course of the reading or anything like that, we're definitely open for questions. The readings are going to be short today. We'll probably do a little bit of Hebrew class. Yeah, if you got any questions, you can hit me up at 832-941-2443, or you can hit up the YouTube live chat right there. Is there a way to display my number on the bottom right there, just in case? Okay. So I'll get that a little bit of lag time right there, just so everybody can catch up with us. You know, once again, if you're in the Houston area, we encourage y'all to come through to class and join us, because you miss things like the Sabbath ceremony, you miss things like the anointing, and you know, things like that you're not going to get online. And plus, you could be one of the readers. You know, brothers can be one of the readers, things like that. You get your questions asked and answered directly, and you know, things like that. You miss that brotherhood, you miss that unity. So if y'all in the Houston area, we encourage you to be here in class with us. All right. If not, keep watching us online. You know, for those of y'all that are out of town. And again, we appreciate all the donations of brothers and sisters that send them in. If it's on your spirit to give to help toward the building of this work and the building of your nation, send any cans, cars, canned goods, cars, clothes, office supplies, books, you know, reading materials, anything like that. Send that to the school address. Otherwise, if it's a monetary donation you want to give toward this work, you can put that in the Wells Fargo account. That's account number 101-580-6167. All right, I'll say that one more time. It's account number 101-580-6167, and that's in the Wells Fargo. All right. Sundown today is going to start Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement. All right, what they call Yom Kippur. All right, this is the Day of Atonement. It's going to be from sundown tonight to sundown Sunday. All right, sundown tomorrow evening, and that's no food, no water for that whole 24-hour period. All right, Sunday to sundown tonight should be about 6:50, 6:53, 6:57, something like that. And then sundown tomorrow will be at 6:58. So from that time to the next, we won't be eating or drinking. All right, no food, no water. All right. The announcements: kids' class will be every Sunday from 11 to 12, 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that would be for the kids class, and that's also going to be on our new YouTube page, ISP HPK Kids. Let's see. Well, if you're in the San Antonio area, we got a camp out there, 4219 Centergate Street in San Antonio, Texas 78217. All right. And yeah, you can hit up me or Kazakia. Kazakia's number is 321-960-8411. If you got questions or comments outside of class, during class, you can do 832-941-2443. Please text only. That's inside or outside of class. And we also have the email, hiddentruth12@gmail.com. You can reach us at. All right. Was there any questions?
No.
So far? All right. Alright, so we're going to begin this Sabbath reading at Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 1. Alright? We're reading verse 1 through 30. So you're going to start reading, you're going to read 12 scriptures, 12 verses. Alright, so you read to verse 12. You'll pick it up at verse 12 through 24. Right. Yeah. So we're at Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 1. Yep. And again, hey, during the course of the reading, there is no late time to bring in your questions. So you can we'll do questions today with no problem. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 1. And Moses went and spake these words unto all Israel. Yeah. And he said unto them, I am 120 years old this day. I can no more go out and come in. Also the Lord hath said unto me, Thou shalt not go over this Jordan. 3. And the Lord thy God, he will go over before thee, and he will destroy these nations before thee, and thou shalt possess them. And Joshua, he shall go over before thee, as the Lord hath said. 4. The Lord shall do unto them as he did to Sihon and to Og, king of the Ammonites, and unto Amorites, and unto the land of them whom he destroyed.
Now what you got to understand here is, again, that timeline. When Moses was born, that's when you start reading about us going into slavery, right? So Moses was born, he left at 80 years old. He left out of Egypt. All right? So, or we left out of Egypt. We all left out of Egypt. So, it was only 80 years that we were in slavery. You understand? The rest of that time, we ruled Egypt. All right? So we got to know that wasn't that 400 years that the Most High had described to Abraham as going to be our slavery or our time of oppression. You understand? That wasn't that time. We ruled there for about 350 years, and then we came out when Moses was 80 years old. At this time, he's 120, so that means they had wandered around the wilderness for 40 years. All right? And none of them got to see the promised land because of their wickedness and their complaining. All right? So at this point, he's 120. That's the time frame. That's the timeline y'all should see right there. And then he's saying, okay, Joshua, when I die, you're going to go in. You're going to take the promised land. See that?
Verse 5. And the Lord shall give them up before your face, that ye may do unto them according to all the commandments which I have commanded you. 6. Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he that doeth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. 7.
Right, so what you're seeing here is he's passing these words on to Joshua, right? Now when Joshua takes over, he doesn't start forming his own curriculum, he doesn't start forming his own path and everything like that. He sticks on that same path. As a matter of fact, he comes and tells the people in Joshua 1 and 6 the exact same thing. Be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people shall you divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. Y'all see that?
God.
So, this is This is the Most High telling that to Joshua, and Joshua reaffirming it to the people. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And Moses called unto Joshua, and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and of good courage, for thou must go with this people unto the land which the Lord hath sworn unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. 8. And the Lord, he is that go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. 9. And Moses wrote this law, and delivered it unto the priests of the sons of Levi, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and unto the elders of Israel. 10. And Moses commanded them, saying, At the end of every 7 years, in solemnity of the year of release, in the year of release, in the feast of tabernacles. 11. When all Israel is come to appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose, thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing. 12. Gather the people together, men and women, and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, that they may hear, that they may learn, and the fear of the Lord your God, and observe to do all the words of this law.
See, so if we had strangers that were living in the land, if we had people outside of Israel that was living in the land at the time, when we gathered together to read this law, they came with us. Y'all see that? That way they couldn't live lawless in our land. No, this is the laws of this land. So while you're here, y'all obey this law. Y'all see that? Question?
So applying that to now, this is the same. There's some camps that say if you have Esau in your camp, they can't participate in certain things. This is saying that then they did that. They came and did that with us.
Yeah, they came for the Feast of Tabernacles, as they're going to do in the end too. You understand? That's going to happen when you read in Isaiah. They're going to be coming up. I think it's not 60. I got to get that for you. But in Isaiah, you read that they're going to be coming toward the Feast of Tabernacles. They're still going to be fulfilling this law right here. Right. Because all we did was we gathered together and the law was read. So that nobody could say, oh, well, I just got in your land, I didn't know. You know what I mean? No. When we had the time of tabernacles, we read the law to everybody. You see that? Mm-hmm. So everybody knows. So if you don't follow this law and you get put to death, that's what we read it to you. You see that? It was fair. It's not like in America where like they pull you over and they're like, oh yeah, you did a California stop. What's that? Oh, you didn't completely stop. You paused at the stop sign. Well, isn't a pause a stop anyway? You know what I mean? Like, how long was I supposed to sit there? You know what I mean? And they basically determined the law for you right there, right then and there, like as if you read it. No. Every year at the Feast of Tabernacles, we gathered together and the law was read. Y'all see that? As well as the Sabbath. I'm trying to see. It's Zechariah, my fault. Zechariah 14 and 16. You're going to read through verse 18.
Zechariah.
Sorry, through verse 19. Zechariah 14, verse 16 through 19.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
See that? So everybody's going to come. year by year to come and worship Christ. Y'all see that? He's the Lord of hosts. Alright? They're going to come to worship Christ and the Most High in His name. Alright? Go ahead.
And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of the tabernacles.
Right, see that? So, for one, if you don't come up, if these nations don't come to Israel and come to worship the Most High at the Feast of Tabernacles, He's not going to let no rain fall on their land till they come up there. You see that?
Got it.
And then with Egypt, He said or the land of bondage, right? If they don't come up, if the remnant of them don't come up after the ass whooping He gave them, then not only are they going to be no rain, but they're going to have plagues on top of it. You see that? So yeah, the stranger will be coming up. This is not all Israel or Israel scattered in the land. This is already after He done gathered Jerusalem Israelites together. You understand?
Got it.
So the stranger, if they don't come up, if they don't come up with us and learn the law and hear the law of the Most High, He's not going to let no rain fall on their land. Basically, He's going to starve them to death. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Verse 19. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of the tabernacles.
See that? So this is going to be the punishment of who?
Of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
See that? If they don't come up, they're going to be punished. So it's going to be mandatory that the stranger be with us. Y'all see that? Is that one working or are you busy? Oh, okay. Go ahead. Oh, that was it? You read through verse 19?
Yes, sir. That was it.
Right. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, the stranger that dwelt among us at that time, whatever these camps are to saying that, they think they're going to be black power. It's just all going to be about revenge. No, it's going to be about righteousness. You see that? So yeah, they did us wrong, but we know why. We know why they did us wrong. Because we bought that for ourselves. Y'all see that? So the Most High is going to return the earth to the way it was, where we ruled in righteousness. We give the law to the people. You understand? But then if they don't come up, if they don't come and dwell with us, and at least in that one time of the year, they're going to be destroyed. All right?
On Zechariah 14 and 16,
Uh-huh.
it says year to year to worship the King. What King are they talking about?
Christ. Yeah, Yahweh. Yeah.
In the Old Testament, right? So it's like, in the Old Testament?
Yeah. So, because when you go to, let's go to Daniel's real quick. Daniel 7 and 13.
I saw on the night visions.
Yeah.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold.
Let everybody get it.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like unto the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought Him near before Him.
Right, see that? So he's seeing this vision that one like the Son of Man. Who's that?
It's Christ.
That's Christ, right? That's Yahweh. And it said the clouds brought Him to the Ancient of Days, which is who?
The Most High.
That's the Most High. Y'all see that? You had a question?
Yeah, so this is basically future prophecy, right? Like today, or was it in this time?
This happened when Christ died. Yeah, when Christ died and resurrected, this is what happened. All right, remember, because He was given the keys of hell and of death and everything like that, right? Well, here, this is a fulfillment of prophecy. He spoke it back then. He saw it in a vision. This happened when Christ died and resurrected. All right? And it also happens again in Revelations to reestablish that. But go to, read verse 14.
Verse 14. And there was given Him dominion and glory and a kingdom.
See, so you got people, oh, well, the Most High don't give his glory to nobody else. Because the scriptures say that, right? But here he's giving his glory to somebody else. To his son. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Which is right. That's how he set things on earth. You give your inheritance, you give your glory to your son. See that? That's why Noah cursed Canaan instead of cursing Ham. Because he wanted to make sure that curse went on Ham. See that? That it didn't reflect on him as an individual, that it didn't reflect on Noah. So he set that curse on Canaan, the grandson. You see that? So it reflected only on Ham. Y'all see that? So it's the same thing when a father gives his glory to his son. It ain't like he's giving it off to some weirdo or some other nation. You know what I mean? It's still his glory. You see that? But he gives it to Christ for this earth, for this realm. Y'all see that? That's why Christ said, listen, in my Father's house are many mansions. Y'all see that? Because you got to think, all the angels, they're sons of God too. So where do they rule over? Y'all see that? Yeah, I don't want to go too deep with that. But Christ rules here. He rules over this. Y'all see that? So it says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom. Go ahead.
And a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
See that? All people, nations, and languages should serve him. See that? So once again, it's not just talking about Israel. It's going to be all people, all nations, all languages going to serve Christ. They all going to bow. Go ahead.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
See that? So, a lot of these cats are, God won't give his glory to nobody. He didn't. He gave it to his son. It's still in the family. It still counts as his. Y'all see that? And then at the same time, they try to rule out Christ. Oh, yeah, it couldn't be that's David that they talking about. No, David died. You understand? David died. This right here is showing you that he gave it to Christ. Because Christ died and resurrected. Y'all see that? So, right, okay. So that's what you're seeing right there in Daniel. Another prophecy of Christ being fulfilled right there. But the important point was that all the nations going to have to serve him. Y'all see that? And did that answer your question? All right, because I forgot your question.
Who's the king?
Who was that king? Right, that's Christ being given that dominion by the King of Kings. See that? That's why the Most High is referred to as King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Right? And then this is another king up under him, Christ. See that? But Christ, the Most High, is the king of all the kings. All right? Or the Malachium, the angels. All right? So where we at? Deuteronomy 31,
Verse
13. That's you.
Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 13. And that their children, which have not known anything, may hear and learn to fear the Lord your God, as long as ye live in the land, whether ye go over Jordan to possess it. And the Lord said unto Moses, Behold, thy days approach that thou must die. Call Joshua, and present yourselves in the tabernacle of the congregation, that I may give him a charge. And Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves in the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Lord appeared in the tabernacle in a cloud, in a pillar of the cloud. And the pillar of the cloud stood over the door of the tabernacle. And the Lord said unto Moses, Behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land.
See that? So the Most High already knew that we weren't going to keep all them laws. You know what I mean? So when the Christians be like, can't nobody keep all them laws? Yeah. Okay, but as a whole nation, you couldn't stick together and check each other and make sure that everybody was on point. That's why Christ had to say love was the fulfilling of the law. Because love is going to make sure that you, hey, don't do that. You know what I mean? Come on, man, as a whole nation, You know what I mean? If anybody cared about anybody else, they would just be like, oh yeah, you don't do that. And then, oh yeah, you don't do that either. You know what I mean? We could all stuck together, but what happened? We all decided, oh, I'm gonna go after these guys, I'm gonna go after these guys, and nobody cared to look after each other.
Right.
Y'all see that? Nobody cared to be like, hey man, that's not lawful. You know what I mean? Like, you know, today, you know, if we have a feast, right? And somebody new come in and they bring you know, say it's a potluck and they bring some dish, we be like, hey, you know, hey man, we don't eat pork. You know what I mean? Or we say before the feast, you know, before it even gets together, hey, no pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. We don't eat those things. We eat the Levitical foods, right? So we check each other before that day come, right? But if you just on your own, a new person come in and just, oh yeah, well here's this, you know what I mean? And somebody else decide, oh, I don't feel like being lawful today. I'm gonna eat what they brought. And ain't nobody gonna check them. There's no love there. Y'all see that? That's why Christ said love is the fulfilling of the law. Meaning you're going to make sure, hey, don't eat that, man. That's bad for you. Y'all see that? All right, but yeah, that's what the Most High knew was going to happen, man. That we was going to have so much riches, so much wealth that you ain't even living close to your neighbor to show that love. Y'all see that? So you don't know what he's doing in his house. You don't know what he's doing behind closed doors. You don't know. You're not even fellowshipping with him because he's miles away on his land. Y'all see that? So he required us that 3 times a year at least to get together to reestablish the law with ourselves. All right? To have that law written on our doorposts and everywhere else, so that would remind us. To wear the fringes, so if you walked out and went to another land, you still, okay, yeah, I'm keeping the laws on the Most High. Y'all see that? But that didn't work. That wasn't enough. Y'all see that? So that's what he's saying. He's like, the people they're gonna be wicked as hell. All right, when they do that, this is what's gonna happen. Go ahead.
Whither they go to be among them, and will forsake me, and break my covenant, which I have made with them. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured. And many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us, because our God is not among us.
Y'all see that? So eventually, all these evils that's been happening in the world, and I like that this Sabbath reading came out just at this time, but all these evils that are happening in the world, the stuff that's happening to Haiti, the stuff that's happening to our people in the streets here in America, right? The things that are happening to us all throughout the world that's really cracking down and more people are getting to see it now, right? All these evils is going to bring us to our knees to where we have to call back on the Most High. Regardless of what faith, what religion, what philosophy you were into, you might have to say, hey, there's got to be something bigger than this, man. This Tai Chi and Kung Fu and Taoism and Hinduism, that ain't doing it for us. Y'all see that? It's something bigger than this. It must be that God of the Bible that promised he was going to whoop our ass. Y'all see that? So it's going to eventually have to come down to that point where we all start calling on the name of the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which they shall have wrought, and that they are turned unto other gods. Now therefore write ye this song for you, and teach it the children of Israel. Put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Israel.
Right, so the song that he's talking about is the law. You understand?
Right.
So when you see that, because you're going to see it in Revelations when we go through that breakdown, it says they sung as it were a new song before the Most High. Y'all see that?
Right.
It's talking about the law. Alright? And in that day, we're going to know with the understanding. Back then, we didn't get the understanding. Alright? So it wasn't given to everybody. But when it says we're going to sing that new song, because we're going to sing the law, that song is going to be in our hearts, the law is going to be in our hearts, but it's going to be with the understanding. Y'all see that?
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swear unto their fathers, that floweth with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves, and waxen fat, then will they turn unto other gods, and serve them, and provoke me, and break my covenant. And it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles are befallen them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness. For it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. For I know their imagination, which they go about, even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swear. Moses therefore wrote this song the same day, and taught it the children of Israel. And he gave Joshua the son of Nun a charge, and said, Be strong and of a good courage, for thou shalt bring the children of Israel into the land which I swore unto them, and I will be with thee. And it shall come to pass, when Moses had made an end of writing the words of this law in a book, until they were finished.
Okay. All right, so here we're at 31 verse 25. Any questions so far on anything? All right. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 25. All right. That Moses commanded the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, Take this book of the law, and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, that it may be there for a witness against thee. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, you have been rebellious against the Lord. And how much more after my death? So Moses is like, listen, I already know what y'all gonna do, man, because y'all been rebelling against the Most High while I've been standing here with you. Y'all see that? So I know y'all gonna do it more after I die. So he said, Gather unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears and call heaven and earth to record against them. For I know that after my death you will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. So that's how you know Moses wasn't just up there for 40 days and 40 nights waiting for the Most High to write like one commandment every couple of days. You understand? He was up there getting all the things that were going to happen to Israel. All right? He was up there getting the knowledge that was going to happen to us from the time of from his time until Christ to the end. You understand? Where we at? Verse 29. For I know that after my death you will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter days, because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. And Moses spake in the ears of all the congregation of Israel the words of this song until they were ended. All right? So that song is obviously talking about the law, once again. All right? Now we're going to, what is it, Hosea?
Hosea chapter 14.
Hosea chapter 14, and we're going to start at verse 1.
Yeah, my bad.
Should be 14.
Right, 12, yeah.
So it was supposed to be 14. Then you did it like 16.
Yeah, no, my brain's just stronger.
It's been a minute. I wish we were drilling right now. Yeah, 14.
Alright, so this is Hosea chapter 14, verse 1. O Israel, return unto the Most High thy God, for thou hast fallen by thy iniquity. So the prophecy that Moses was given that came to pass, right? Even at Hosea's time, we had already fell to our iniquity. Take with you words and turn to the Most High. Say unto him, take away all iniquity and receive us graciously. So will we render the calves of our lips. So that's those sacrifices. That calves represent our sacrifices. All right. Asher shall not save us. We will not ride upon horses. Neither will we say any more to the work of our hands, you are our gods. For in thee the fatherless findeth mercy. See that? So eventually we're going to get humbled by these corrections that the Most High will bring you. Y'all see that? And we're going to have to return to the Most High and say, hey, you know what? We don't trust in our cars. We don't trust in our riches no more. It's you. It's Yahweh. That's the only one that's going to save us. Y'all see that? So if people don't start humbling down now, it's going to get worse.
Right.
This stuff is going to get worse. The floods, the hurricanes, the destruction, the murders, all that's going to get worse. All right? Yeah, the famine, like Venezuela, all that stuff, that's going to get much, much worse. All right? But our people are hard-headed, man. You know?
Stiff-necked.
There you go. Verse 4, he said, I will heal their backsliding. I will love them freely, for my anger is turned away from him. I will be as the dew unto Israel. He shall grow as the lily, and cast forth his root as Lebanon. His branches shall spread, and his beauty shall be as the olive tree, and his smell as Lebanon. See, so that's another scripture y'all can go to showing that the men equal the trees were equivalent to the men. Y'all see that? They that dwell under his shadow shall return. They shall revive as the corn, and grow as the vine. The scent thereof shall be as the wine of Lebanon. Ephraim shall say, what have I to do any more with idols? I have heard him and observed him. I am like a green fir tree. From me is thy fruit found. Who is wise? And he shall understand these things. Prudent, and he shall know them. For the ways of the Lord are right, and the just shall walk in them, but the transgressors shall fall therein. So he said, even Ephraim, even the rest of Israel, not just Judah, but even all the rest of Israel, is going to realize that, hey, I'm not going to put no stock in these idols no more. I'm going to stop worshiping Santeria, voodoo, and all these other things. Then I'm going to come back to the Most High. Y'all see that?
Come.
So now where we at? Romans?
Romans chapter 10, verse 14 through 18.
All right, yeah. Let me know if y'all got any questions, man.
Romans chapter 10, verse 14 through 18.
All right. That's fine. I think I just took this here last night a little bit. Yeah. All right, so this is Romans chapter 10, verse 14. He said, how then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? So you got cats, oh yeah, I got the truth. I know the truth. I can find out by myself. No, you ain't gonna hear it unless you got a preacher. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
You're not gonna get the word of the Most High unless he send a preacher to you. So all that, oh yeah, God talks to me. No, he doesn't. Y'all see that? When you go to Amos 3 and verse 7, he says, surely the Most High will do nothing, but he revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So you got to talk to a prophet. You got to talk to a man. You got to get that understanding from a human being that has the understanding of the Most High Christ. He's going to have to be one of those Jeremiah 3:15 types. He give the pastor according to his heart. Y'all see that? The feed you with knowledge and understanding. So you're not just going to get it on your own. All right. So that goes with Isaiah 30 verse 20 and 20 through 22, I think it is, where he tells you about how you're gonna hear that word behind you saying, "This is the way, walk you therein." Right. Right. So that goes with that. So whenever you encounter somebody and they, oh, I got the truth, I learned it all by myself. No, you didn't. Somebody taught it to you. That's what the Bible said was gonna happen. Y'all see that? Or yeah, I don't need no camp. I don't need. Yeah, you do. You know what I mean? Because you're forsaking the assembling of yourselves together. Hebrews 10 and 25. Because Zephaniah 2:1 said, gather together, O nation not desired. If you don't need a camp, well, how the hell do you celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles? Y'all see that? You will have to gather together as a camp, as a nation. What's that?
It's like someone can be reading, and they have an understanding of by themselves, reading by themselves, but they may not have the full understanding, or they might miss an angle or another verse that would edify what they feel they have understanding on already.
Exactly. That's what you read about in Acts, man. When the Ethiopian, he was trying to read the scriptures, and he was like, he came and picked up. You got it? Yeah, he came and picked up Philip. He said, he's like, you know what you're reading? You understand what you're reading? He's like, how am I going to know unless some man teach me?
Right.
See that? Where you at? Where's that?
Acts chapter 8, verse 30.
Yeah, read that. So, all that New Testament is showing you, you're going to have men that teach you. It's not going to be the Spirit just magically opens up the Bible to you one day. You see that? You're gonna even when we say that the Spirit revealed certain things to these elders and they brought the truth. Well, they were taught by men before them. Y'all see that? Men before them taught them that the true Jews are black. Deuteronomy 28. That's talking about us. And then the Spirit revealed things to them as they studied what those men taught them. Y'all see that? And they were like, oh, you know what? These other people are also of the tribes. Y'all see that? So where you at?
Acts chapter 8, verse 30.
Read that.
And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? Mm-hmm. And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me?
See that? How am I going to understand what I'm reading unless some man guides me?
Right.
Now even the damn Ethiopians can understand this. Y'all see that? Even though the scriptures say in Zechariah, say you Ethiopians also shall be slain by my sword, right? Okay, well, the Ethiopian understand that it ain't God that's just going to come down and magically reveal it to you. You see that? It ain't Yahweh Shai that's going to come down and be like, oh yeah, you know what that means? So I'm going to break it down for you. Y'all see that? It ain't going to be no angel and all that. It's going to be a man. It's going to be a human being like yourself that's going to say, hey, yeah, this is what this means. Y'all see that? Right, so that's one scripture to show you. Like I said, you got Isaiah chapter 30, verse 20. Get that real quick. And these all go right with this, Romans chapter 10, verse 14.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 20. And though the Lord give thee the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teacher be removed from a corner anymore.
Right. See that? He said, even though you're going to be going through it, because you left off of my commandments like I told Moses you would, right? And all this evil done came upon you. Even though that all this evil is upon you, I'm not gonna your eyes gonna see your teachers. Y'all see that? I'm not gonna remove your teachers off into a corner. They're not gonna be hidden. Go ahead.
But thy eye shall see thy teachers.
See that? Your eyes are gonna see your teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
21. And thy ear shall hear the words behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it. When ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left.
There you go. See that? So it's showing you that you're going to have people that's going to guide you and teach you. Y'all see that?
God.
There's going to be men, there's going to be men and women that are going to be able to guide you through this life, through the scriptures. All right?
God.
All right? Well, besides the numerous other ones, man, Zechariah 8:23, they're going to grab hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, teach us your ways. We have heard that God is with you. Right. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1 through 5. Right? Yeah, they all going to come to Israelites and say, hey, let's walk in the light of the Most High. Y'all see that? So there's going to be people teaching. It's not going to be the Most High himself coming down like that to teach you himself. All right? And then, of course, at Amos 3 and 7. All right?
He has that structure.
Yeah.
Just like any corporation or any business, you know, the CEO doesn't come down and teach the new hires
Right.
how to do their job.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, so yeah, the Most High got order. It's not just chaotic up there like he got to do everything and run around do everything.
Right.
You see that? Micromanage. All right, so we're back to Romans chapter 10 and now verse 15. He said, and how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring good tidings, glad tidings of good things. All right. He said, but they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah said, Lord, who has believed our report? So that faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. But I say, was that it? Oh, I'm reading through verse 18. He said, but I say, have they not heard? Yea, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the end of the world. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
So this gospel is going to be preached every age, no matter how many people is on the planet. You see, you always got this word being preached and taught in truth. Y'all see that? It might not be a lot of people that follow it, but it's still being preached. And it's going out through all the earth. So they can't be denied. It can't be said, oh yeah, I didn't know. Oh, you knew. What's that?
There's a question online about what we were speaking about. It says that God doesn't talk to people through dreams.
In dreams, yeah, but he doesn't do even that himself. Y'all see that? Well, let's go to Job chapter 34. 33 verse 16, I think it is. Or 34, 16. Right. So we're at Job chapter 33 verse 16.
Job chapter 33, verse 16. Then he opened the ears of men.
No, start 15.
14.
Yeah. That's 14.
Job chapter 33, verse 14. For God speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumber is upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. He is chastened also with pain upon his bed.
Right, read that from 14 again.
Verse 14. For God speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not.
Right, the way that the Most High speaks, you don't even perceive it really. Y'all see that? That's why he sends men, because a lot of times he be showing you a way, he be showing you signs or whatever, and you don't get it anyway. You see that? And even when he was speaking up there on the mountain with Moses, the people down there were like, we don't want to hear his voice.
Right.
Y'all see that? You go up and then tell us what he said. Alright? So yeah, you wouldn't be able to perceive the depths of the way the Most High speaks anyway. So he reveals certain things to you in a dream little by little. Y'all see that? And in visions of the night, like it says. Go ahead.
Verse 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed. Then he opened the ears of men, and sealed their instruction.
See that? That's when he opens up the ears of men. He opens up their understanding, and he seals the instruction. And he only does that for the elect. Y'all see that?
All right.
That's what Amos 3 and 7. That's why not everybody is given the gift of prophecy. Not everybody's given the gift of those gifts of the Spirit like that. And then we're going to go to 1 Corinthians also.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Surely the Lord God will do nothing.
Y'all got it?
All right.
Go ahead.
Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
Right. It says, surely the Most High isn't going to do anything. All right? He reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophet. How? By what you read in Job, in a dream, in a vision of the night. Y'all see that? He doesn't do that just for everybody. All right? Let me get this real quick. 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 1. Just to give you a proof of that. We're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 1. That he only gives that to the prophets. He only gives that to his elect. Alright? With those dreams and visions of the night. Just like we read in Daniel, right? I saw in the night visions. Well, what was Daniel? Oh, he was a scientist and a prophet of the Most High. Y'all see that? Where you at? 1 Samuel 3 and 1, right?
Come.
Go ahead.
1 Samuel 3 and 1. And the children Samuel,
and the child
I'm
Samuel,
sorry, and the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the words of the Lord was precious in those days.
See, it said the word of the Most High was precious in those days.
Mm-hmm.
See that? Meaning it wasn't just, I don't just give it to any average Negro.
Right.
Y'all see that? He said the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There wasn't a lot of people that was holding on to it. That it wasn't just given out to everybody. Go ahead.
There was no open vision.
There was no open vision. Not everybody just got it like that.
Right.
Y'all see that? It said he revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Y'all see that? Read on.
And it came to pass at that time, when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. 3. And ere the lamp of God went out in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep. 4. That the Lord God called Samuel, and he answered, Here I am, Samuel.
See that? Go ahead.
And he answered, Here I am. And he ran unto Eli, and said, Here I am, for thou callest me.
See, he didn't even perceive that it was the Most High, right? The Most High speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. He didn't even know it was the Most High. He's like, yeah, what's up, Eli? I'm right here. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
And he said, I called not. Lie down again.
See that? He's like, I didn't call you, man. Go ahead and lay down. Read.
And he went and lay down. And the Lord called yet again Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli and said,
the Most High speaketh once, yea twice. Go ahead.
Here I am.
And he ran to Eli. Here I am. Go ahead.
For thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not, my son. Lie down again. 7. And Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again, and the third time, and he arose and went to Eli and said, Here I am. for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord hath called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go, lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth.
See that? The word of the Most High was so precious in that day that this man Eli or Samuel, he didn't even understand that it was the Most High calling him.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see that? That's to show you that not everybody can just hear the voice of the Most High. So all these cats out there God talks to me. No, the hell he don't. Because even in Samuel's day, there wasn't no open vision, and we was more righteous back then than we are now as a nation. Y'all see that? But he said there was no open vision. So it wasn't just given to everybody, it was revealed to his servant, the prophet. Y'all see that? See, okay, Eli's getting old, okay, I'm gonna give it to this man. He's gonna be a prophet now. It didn't say he came down with a bullhorn and woke up the whole Levitical priesthood. Y'all see that? Levi wasn't the only priest. There was a whole family of priests. Or Eli, he wasn't the only priest. There was a whole family of Levitical priests that the Most High could have came and woke up. But even then, there was no open vision.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see that? So we got to know that about these scriptures, man. The Most High don't just talk to everybody. He reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets. And then they deliver it to men. Y'all see that? Man, there was somewhere else I was going to go before that. It's all Corinthians, right? I think it's 12. Let me see. Yeah, 12 and 10.
1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10.
Hold on. We're going to start at 4.
1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 4. Now there are diversities of gifts.
See that? You got different kinds of gifts that everyone has. Go ahead.
But the same Spirit.
But it's the same Spirit. Christ is the one that gave you that Spirit. Go ahead.
And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord.
Right.
And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh in all in all.
Right.
But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues.
See that? So you got different people that have different gifts. You got some that get languages down pretty good. You get some that get the actual gift of healing. You know what I mean? Where they either know how to mess with those herbs or the Spirit is on them where they could even lay hands on them. You understand? And a lot of these gifts are few and far between, but that's why we all got to gather together. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
To another the interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will.
Y'all see that? So it's showing you that not everybody's going to get that open vision. Y'all see that?
Got it.
When Christ comes, that's when he's going to pour of his Spirit on all flesh. Y'all see that? And then everybody's going to prophesy. Your young men and your young women will dream dreams and all that. But right, that's showing you right there that not right even right now there's no open vision. The Most High don't just reveal it to everybody. So the ones he gives that to, those are the ones you go to. Y'all see that? So all these little niggas popping up on YouTube and making a channel and deciding they gonna teach, and it's like, bro, you didn't even make it through the officer program. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you, much less you're a general. You know what I mean? You ain't even make it through the officer program, but you sit up there with a YouTube channel trying to teach men how to live their life. And you ain't even got a beard growing out to maintain yet, but you gonna tell them how to maintain their house? You know what I mean? You get up on there with a polo shirt, you can't even make a garment, you can't even get a garment together. You know what I mean? To represent your nation the right way. But you gonna sit up there and try to teach men how to live their life, how to organize their life? Yeah, you in a damn basement, dirty ass basement with your clothes hanging off the damn closet doorknob and everything, and you gonna tell men how to organize their whole house and your room dirty.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah, you got the brothers, they mama calling them in the background, Cletus!
right.
Like, wow, I'm doing a video, mom. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. You still in your mama's house, you got a problem. Y'all see that? You got to get out on your own and learn how to be a man first before you can go ahead and start teaching this word. Y'all see that? Samuel, we're reading about Samuel. His mom sent him off to the priesthood. She wasn't there still hanging around. She came up every year, gave him a new coat, and rolled out. Y'all see that? He was on his own with the priests. Y'all understand?
You know what's funny?
What's that?
The first time I ever saw an Israelite on YouTube was exactly how it was. It was everything you just said. Because I remember he was teaching, and like he had got pissed because I think his girlfriend or something came, and she was asking him something. He was like, you don't see him teaching? What are you doing? And then like she just like he gave her this look, and like it was crazy, man.
Right, he can't even keep his house in order, but he on YouTube telling other men how the Bible's gonna fix their life. Like,
Right.
bro, you can't keep your girl in order, man.
Yeah.
She can't come down and see you in front of the video teaching the Bible and just be like, okay, I'll wait.
Right.
She was hood. He was one of those ratchet chicks too.
Yeah, man.
Or it was like,
Well, that's why he said, you know, how they gonna preach unless they be sent.
yeah.
See that? A lot of these cats weren't sent. It's like Micah said. He said they ran, but I didn't send them. Or Jeremiah 23, I think it is. But Micah and Jeremiah talk about the false prophets. You know what I mean? How they ran, but I didn't send them. They speak, but I didn't put my words in their mouth. Y'all see that? Yeah, so you gotta watch that, man. Because you are gonna have to learn from men. You are gonna have to learn from some men. But at the same time, you're gonna have to make sure you try the spirit, whether they are of the Most High. Y'all see that? What were you gonna say?
Oh no, like just how you were saying, someone yelling in the background. You already said it. It's like you plucked it out of my brain or something.
Y'all see that? So yeah, you know, again, when you read that Jeremiah 3:15, he says, "I'm gonna give you pastures according to my heart, according to my mind, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." Well, what's the Most High's mind? Is it disorganized and chaotic? Y'all see that? Is it just, this is what we're gonna do right now, and I don't know what to do, and you know what I mean, indecisive? No. The mind of the Most High is organized. Y'all see that? If you want to go from the most giant part of the universe that they think they've explored to down to the little microorganisms that live inside your body, everything's got an order to it. Y'all see that? The way the earth is formed, the way that it's maintained, there's an order to everything. It's not just chaos. Y'all see that? But you got these chaotic niggas getting on Facebook now and YouTube and everything, trying to run people's lives, saying that the Most High sent them. He didn't send you. Y'all see that? But was that it? Question-wise?
No question.
No more questions? Yeah, the whole reading only took an hour, man.
I have a question.
What's that?
On second Esdras 15 and 46 and down, what particular time period is this prophecy speaking about, and who is Asia on this prophecy?
Second Esdras where?
15 and 46 and down.
Let's get that real quick. Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 46. Yeah, you want to know what time frame this is talking about?
Yeah, and who Asia is on this prophecy.
I'll get there with you. Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 46.
Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 46. And thou, Asia, Thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore, saith God, I will.
Let's go to Revelation chapter 1. Hold where you're at. We're going to go to Revelation chapter 1. And you're going to read verse 11 and read verse 20.
Revelations chapter 1, verse 11. Saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia.
See that? You see what he's talking about? Alright, so he says, send that to the 7 churches which are in Asia. And these are those 7 churches, read.
Unto
Ephesus.
Ephesus.
So we talking about the Ephesians. Go ahead.
And unto Samaria.
Smyrna.
Uh-huh. And unto
Pergamos.
Pergamos.
And unto Thyatira. And unto Sardis. And unto Philadelphia. And unto Laodicea. So these are the 7 churches scattered throughout what is called Asia Minor. Alright, so you got Pakistan counts as Asia. You got Afghanistan, Iran. They call it the Middle East. All that counted as Asia. From the Mediterranean all the way to the Pacific counted as Asia. Alright? So if you're dealing with Israel, counted as Asia. All the way to Japan counts as Asia. China, the only part, I think Russia counts as Europe, right? Yeah, Russia's part of Europe. Well, all that, from basically the whole Eastern Hemisphere was counted as Asia, except for, Africa and down there, because we hadn't inhabited those lands yet. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
So when you deal with that, you're dealing with, despite what the white man tell you, we found remnants of a civilization of 15,000 years ago. Nigga, stop. You said the dinosaurs were 64 million years old, and now you find a soft tissue in them that proves that they probably only a few thousand years old. Because they find the same soft tissue in them that they find in mummies. See that? Now the mummies are only 5,000-6,000 years old.
Right.
So you saying the dinosaurs walked the earth 64 million years ago, everything about them should be just hardened and fossilized, right?
Yeah.
But they find soft tissue in the dinosaurs. So it's not 64 million years they've been around. It's maybe 5,000-6,000 years, like the Bible said. Y'all see that? So same thing, they tell you, Africa been inhabited for over 15,000, 16,000 years and all that. No, it hasn't. Y'all see that? Nah, y'all said that, put that out there because you want to seem smart, and then you're going to come back in about 20 years and say, we actually found soft tissue in these remains. Y'all see that? So don't let Esau lie to you, man, and because a lot of our people do that. Africa been around. They were the greatest civilization before the Bible. And it was like, no, bro. The Bible's only 6,000 years old. They say the Earth is only 6,000 years old, and Africa been around for millions of years. No, it hasn't. If that was true, why the hell are they starving to death right now? If they've been around for millions of years, they should be the greatest civilization on the planet. Mm-hmm. Y'all see that? I shouldn't be seeing no, channel 20 at midnight, some little skinny African with his ribs touching, you know what I mean, and a fly buzzing around in his eyes. That shouldn't be happening. They should have that on lock after a million years. Right? Even 15,000 years, you think somebody will learn how to grow food down there? The hell they made in America for? Y'all see that? Like, okay, America's only 400 years old, right? Or not even that, is it? They're 300, 400 years old. And Africa been around 15,000 years, but they gotta ask America for food? Help me out with that one.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
That don't make no damn sense, right? Because they haven't been around as long as they say. Y'all see that? I mean, shoot, America damn near got flying cars now, and they only been around 300-400 years. Africa still running around in mud huts, spearing lions. Come on, something's wrong. Something's very wrong right there. You know what I mean? You
Resources.
yeah, you die from malaria, a mosquito bite you, and you die from it. Something's wrong. Your civilization ain't been around as long as they claim. Y'all see that? But where you at?
Verse 49.
Right, so we read,
Revelations 11.
yeah, this is what we need to be reading. Revelation 1 verse 11, you finished that, right?
Come.
The churches that were in Asia, and then we're going to read verse 20.
Okay. Revelations 1 and 20.
We don't need that. But, because that's just showing the golden candlesticks. We use those to prove what he's saying in Revelation chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
1 verse, when you get to verse 13, he says in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. Right? So, verse 20 we use to show what the 7 candlesticks are. They're the 7 churches. And then we show where those 7 churches were in verse 11.
Right.
All right? So those 7 churches were scattered throughout Asia. So what is known as Asia was these places right here that you're seeing. All right? But Asia actually counted as pretty much all the land that Alexander the Great was trying to take over. All right? So why did they fall into Babylonian custom? Because when Alexander took over, we went through this in the Revelation, or in the the Revelation breakdown, right? We went through that about how Alexander the Great, he went over there and he basically conquered the whole known world. And it said he gave his power to his generals after when he was dying, right? And then it said when they got up, they all put crowns on their heads, and it said evils were multiplied in the earth. See that? I think that's what 1 Maccabees 8. No, 1 Maccabees 1 verse 1 through 8 and 9 and so on. So when you read 1 Maccabees, the first chapter, you find out how this came to pass. So that when you're reading 2nd Esdras, you're finding out, okay, this is how they fell to the Babylonian customs. This is how they became like the daughter of Babylon. Y'all see that? Where was that? 15 verse what? 46, right? And now Asia, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon. See that? So all these churches, Ephesus, the Ephesians, when Paul was writing all those letters, those were to the churches scattered throughout Asia Minor. So Corinthians, Galatia, Ephesus, Colossians, all those, where he's like, oh foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you, right? All this was done, he was writing these letters because of all the wickedness they were doing in those churches. See that? That the corruption of those lands had actually even touched the churches. That they were getting into Babylonian customs. They said where a man should marry his father's wife. See that? Yeah, he was writing to these churches because they had become like the Babylonians. Alright? And then you said 46 to where?
Basically down, this is a prophecy, right? So just wondering if this prophecy already happened or it's just prophecy today with Babylon.
Let's see, at verse 43 it says, and they shall go steadfastly into Babylon and make her afraid. They shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. Alright, this is going into like, what you call it, prophecy. Daniel and Revelation. Alright, we talking about actually America, right? America is Babylon. Alright, Asia tries to be like America. See that? They're involved in all her customs. Alright? So this is that future prophecy going in, just like Revelation and Daniel, how it's going to be destroyed. Alright? It said verse 47, woe be unto you, you wretch, because you hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom. See that? So when America go over to the Middle East, right, and all the women over there was in head coverings, and they start giving them liberation and freedom and all that stuff, right? Now all of a sudden the women want to be watching Baywatch and run around in bikinis now and twerk and things like that. Why? Because Asia's getting influenced by this whore Babylon America. All right? the men over there be faggots. You know what I mean? Be wearing full Islamic garbs and be having sex with little boys and being pedophiles and stuff like that. They follow the customs of America now. Alright? So all that of Asia, when you all the way to China, where they eating dogs and cats and squirrels and every damn thing else, octopus live and everything like that, eating their own children, right? Japan, they doing the same type of stuff over there. You see that? Again, into defiled sex practices. They got a it's a Shinto penis festival. Every year these niggas make giant penises and ride them down the streets and suck on penis lollipops all day and everything like that. Everything's just dedicated to the penis that whole day. You know what I mean? They do this every year. Y'all see that? So these kind of things like that, he's like, y'all got sucked into the Babylonian custom, man, worshiping the phallus. You know what I mean? Because over there they just make it obvious. They make a giant penis. Over here in America, we make the Washington Monument. You know what I mean? They make what they call obelisk. You know what I mean? And obelisk in a dome, and that's dedicated to a man's rod and a woman's vagina. Y'all see that? So these are the things that they got sucked into, and it perverted you even more. So he's telling them, you're a wretch because you went and followed after her. Verse 48, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore, saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon you, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste your houses with destruction, and death. See that? So that's why he's doing what he's doing in China, what he's doing in Japan, Fukushima, and all that stuff like that. He's doing that because they've taken up the Babylonian custom, the customs of America. You understand? All right. Verse 49, I will send plagues upon you. Widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. That's why ain't no samurai running around no more. You know what I mean? When you watch that movie Last Samurai, that's when that stuff is taking place. Where he's like, y'all took part in Babylonian custom. Y'all traded the noble samurai with the swords and the code of honor and code of ethics and things like that to be poured out to America, man. Y'all see that? So these things have been coming to pass to where it's in fruition right now, where they're completely Americanized, man. You know what I mean? A pair of Jordans over here cost you about $200. You go over there, it costs you about $1,000. That's on average. Y'all see that? Because that yen is bigger than the dollar, so they charge you a whole bunch of money for them Jordans over there. Then you float over to Korea and it's $6 because they're making them in China. Y'all see that? And they don't care about no that. They don't really care about what America has to do. That's why America trying to shut them down. You know what I mean? Because damn, we sell Jordans for $200 on up all over the world, except in Korea. Oh, they need democracy now. Y'all see that? We're able to sell all our wares everywhere else on the earth, but Korea, they putting up with that. They don't care about that stuff. They care about intellect. Well, we got to dumb them down like we did with America. They need freedom now. You know what I mean? They said that they said 500 million gallons of gold or gallons of oil were found in Egypt or something like that. Then they had the eagle there saying like, sounds like Egypt needs some freedom. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, why? That's how they do it. They spread their wickedness and their filth all over earth. Y'all see that? So these things been coming to pass. That time period that this is going to come, it started with Alexander the Greek. All right? It started with what you're reading about in 1 Maccabees chapter 1. And it's coming to its fruition with America in their wickedness. All right? Because, Alexander the Great and all them, they came over that way with to try to make their way all the way to China, but they were stopped in India, turning them all into faggots and horse bangers and everything like that. Y'all see that? So that spread from there as his four generals took over, said evils were multiplied in the earth. So that spread out into China. It spread into Egypt. It spread into Thrace and Bithynia and Laodicea, right? It spread into all of Asia Minor. See that? And now America's trying to get it to spread even further because it didn't get to China all the way. It didn't get to Japan all the way. The faggotry and all that came a little bit. You know what I mean? But the perversion that's going on now, that happened because America spread that crap. You know what I mean? You didn't have to go up to those samurai and be like, hey, don't bang your horse, bro. It was righteous men.
Right. They
You know
had
what I mean?
Standard.
Yeah, they had our standard.
Mm-hmm.
The Hebrew standard. You didn't have to go to the Chinese and talk to the emperor of China about having sex with little boys. It wasn't in them.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see that? Because they had our standard. But now America's like pushing that standard all the way over there. So now the Japanese boys are running around looking like Japanese girls. Y'all see that? They don't grow their beards out. They putting makeup on. They cutting their hair like girls, wearing girl clothes, right? Being pedophiles and everything. Come on, you're buying panties out of a damn vending machine? Used panties?
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah. They even put that in Orange is the New Black, man, where she was able to sell these women's used panties to people, man. That perversion, that's spreading everywhere, man. Y'all see that? But yeah, it's hitting Asia because of America. It's hitting them even harder because of America. So he's saying this future prophecy is, I'm going to destroy you, man. I'm going to destroy y'all for following in America's custom like that. Y'all see that? And then their Greek custom, which was the Greeks honored Babylon. They honored them through Egypt. They loved the Egyptian custom, right? Then the Egyptians, they were honoring ancient Babylonian custom. So they kept passing that spirit down. Y'all see that? So that's what you're dealing with right here when you read Second Ezra 15, verse 46 down. He said, right, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower when the heat shall arise that is sent over them. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastened with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive you. Would I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Most High, if thou hast not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thine hands, and saying over their dead, when thou wast drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shall you receive recompense. So the things that Asia's doing right now, man, the things that they're going through, the bombings that America's doing in Iraq and Afghanistan and Iran and all these things like that, that's happening because the Most High is punishing them too. Because they took up with America. Y'all see that? They left off of the stature that they had, the little bit of stature and goodness they had left in them. They gave over to Islam and America. Y'all see that? The little bit of goodness that Africa had in it, they gave over to being like the Canaanites. They stayed in the Babylonian Canaanite Cushite custom. You understand? The glory that America had at any point, if it had any. You understand? They gave it over to being like the Canaanites, being like the Babylonians. Y'all see that? They became the daughter of Babylon. Y'all see? So yeah, that's what that's talking about. It's talking about that age from the time of Alexander the Great in 333 BC, all up until now. All right? No other questions on there? All right. What time is it? 9. Yeah, that didn't take much time at all, man. Oh, for the Hebrew? That's supposed to be for online? We do that online now?
We have?
Oh, he started doing the Hebrew classes online, right?
I'm not sure. I know that he did that once.
Yeah. They got the meetings and stuff on the back, so how's that work? Let me see if you made those? Come.
Look at a basketball goal.
God doesn't talk. Oh, okay, we answered that, right? But the Most High, yeah. He talks to people in dreams, just to answer your question. He talks to people in dreams, but again, it's not an open vision. He talks to his prophets through dreams. You understand? He don't just talk to everybody like that. All right? But let me get Joel just to give you the balance of that. And it's also reflected in the, I think it's Hebrews. No, it's Acts. It's Acts chapter 2, verse 21. But this is Joel chapter 2, verse 28. He said, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions." Y'all see that? And he said, "And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke." So this is all going to happen in the last days, that he's going to start giving the visions and the dreams, and the daughters are going to prophesy, and the sons are going to prophesy. Y'all see that? Meaning they're going to be able to speak the word of the Most High. All right, and again, that's reflected in Acts chapter 2, verse 21 of the New Testament. That way, in case you're a New Testament only Israelite somehow.
Acts chapter 2, verse 21. "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved." Verse 22.
No, I'm sorry, it was before that. Verse 18. 17.
Acts chapter 2, verse 17. "And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams."
Right.
Verse 18. "And on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy."
Right, so what he's doing is he's quoting that Joel that we just read in the Old Testament. That's Peter quoting that, because what happened when you read Acts chapter 2 is that him and the other apostles stood up and they were able to start speaking in everybody's language. And they were able to start prophesying and breaking down the scriptures in everybody else's language. All right? They got the gift of tongues and they were able to speak different languages. So it said that this is the fulfillment of that prophecy. So that fulfillment of that prophecy started at the book of Acts. All right? And it's going to be even more so. But as you read, you're reading that only those 12 apostles were given that. Y'all see that? And then whoever they start giving the Spirit to, they were able to do that. Y'all see that? So it's not, even at that time, there is no point in the whole history of the Bible that it was an open vision. Not since Adam. You understand? In Adam's day, or we'll say even in Adam's day, he chose Adam from amongst him, and he gave him the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He didn't give everybody that. You see that? He breathed into Adam the breath of life. When you read that Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, 22 down, he gave him wisdom. You see that? He gave him the vision, and he did that in his sleep.
Right.
See that? He put on that deep sleep on him. Right? And then when you go down through history, took Abraham out. Noah, right? Talked to Noah. He didn't talk to everybody. There wasn't a whole bunch of other niggas building arks, right? Nah, he talked to Noah. You gonna build an ark, right? Then Noah, through Noah's seed, he picked Abraham. See that? Okay, you gonna leave the Chaldees, leave all these crazy cats in Asia to their serpent worshiping and all that stuff and fire breathing and all that, and you gonna go out to the land where I send you. I'm going to separate you from them. You see that? Then out of Abraham's seed, he chose Israel. You see that? So it wasn't no open vision.
Right.
Then even out of Israel, he chose the Levites. See that? And he spoke to the Levites, and the Levites spoke to the people. So it had never been an open vision. It never been, oh, God spoke to me. Oh, God spoke to me too. Again, God spoke to me. No, he didn't.
Right.
Y'all see that? He spoke to his servants, the prophets. In Elijah's time, he said, I only got 7,000 that have not bowed the knee to Baal.
Right.
Those are the only ones I'm talking to out of the whole earth. 7,000 people. Y'all see that? So you're not getting that, oh yeah, I had a vision, I had a dream. No, you didn't. If you did, Satan gave it to you. Right. Because the prophets were the only ones given that. Now, if you're a prophet, cool. If you're a prophet, prophesy.
Mm-hmm.
Speak the words of the Most High like the prophets did. But if you're talking about, yeah, I had a vision that you hit the lotto, and these are your lucky numbers. You know what I mean? Calm me down. Right? If you're doing all that, you trying to do the Miss Cleo thing, that wasn't open to you.
Right.
Hey, shalom, sis. Come on in.
I just wanted to see if I could get some information as how to study and how to go about studying, like the books that you're using.
Oh, yeah, sir. Yeah, normally there's more people. We spread a little thing. We got brothers out in different, in other states and stuff like that right now. So, but plus it's still kind of early, so more people start filtering in here and there. But right now, what you're seeing us read out of, we read out of the King James Bible. It's the closest to the original Hebrew out of pretty much all the translations and all this stuff going right now.
Okay.
This is going to be the closest to the original Hebrew. We also read out of the Apocrypha, which were, if you look on the front of these, it says the authorized King James Version.
Okay.
See that? Because this, until like 1864, was a part of the Bible. Alright? This coincidence in 1864 was supposed to be the Emancipation Proclamation, right? So we were just getting free to be able to read and do things like that without getting beat down.
Let's take this out.
Let's take this proof out that these are the Jews. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Have you heard of the Hebrew Israelites before? Or?
I've been viewing you guys on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I just kind of want to, I'm understanding, I'm coming out of Christianity, religion.
Okay.
So I do believe in what you say and the Word of God. And I just want to figure out what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to behave and act and live within this culture. I'm a school teacher, so there's certain things that I have to.
You gotta abide by certain rules and
Yeah,
stuff.
in order to how do I function knowing that I'm different? I'm supposed to be separate from this culture.
Well, obviously, the things we teach here, they're not gonna let you teach in school, right? They're not gonna let you be like, yeah, Christopher Columbus discovered America. They're not gonna let you say stuff like that, right? Being a teacher. So it's what Christ said, man. He said, "Be you therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." See that? So in this time, you have to. Okay, I know who I am. In is it Hebrews? Yeah, it's Hebrews. Can one of y'all grab her Bible back there? If there's one back there. I just lost where I was going. I want that wise as serpents, harmless as doves, right? Oh, there it was. It was Romans 14:22.
Romans chapter 14 and verse 22.
Go ahead.
Hast thou faith? Have it to thyself before God.
Right, see that? If you have faith, you got a belief system, if you find out that you're a Hebrew Israelite and you believe that and everything like that, he said, have that to yourself before the Most High. Y'all see that? So you don't have to go, if you're in the school system, you don't gotta go sit there proclaiming, hey, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, this is how I'm gonna be doing right now, I'm gonna wear a head covering, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? No, you just live it. People gonna see that change through you. You see that? If it's gonna get you fired and you're not gonna be able to do what your career is and feed your kids off of that, then he's saying, if you have faith, have it to yourself before the Most High. You see that? This don't got your faith. Go to Romans 3:15. This,
Chapter-
34.
Four?
Huh?
God forbid.
It's 3 verse 3. Yeah.
Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. For what if some did not believe?
See that? He said, what if some don't believe what you believe? Right? What if you go to the school system and they're like, nah, you can't work here talking all that Hebrew nonsense, right? Okay, well, what if some did not believe, right?
Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
Right. That shouldn't change your faith. You see that? That don't change what you believe. So if you have that faith, have it to yourself. Yeah. Okay, well, I ain't gonna convert the whole school system. I ain't gonna convert the principal, the superintendent. That's cool. You see that? Have your faith to yourself and worship the Most High on your time. You see that?
I'm feeling a bit conflicted right now because from what I've been listening, you guys said that the Most High loved Jacob and he hated Esau. But I'm looking around and I see Esau. I mean, so is there a conversion process that he's allowing to happen?
Yeah, you just missed all the scriptures, but it's all good. We here. Let's go back to the Feast of Tabernacles, man. What we were just reading about, man, where we started out in Deuteronomy chapter 31. Just to show you that all through the scriptures, there's a way he's going to deal with the house of Esau. But what does it mean if I say you're of my house, right? What does that mean?
You belong.
Huh?
You belong to my house. You were the original, perhaps.
Okay. Well, we'll say it like this. Like, say I got what is called the Hickman belly in my family, right? Okay, so in my family, our stomachs grow out, the muscles grow out, everything like that. So it look like we got this big cirrhosis of the liver gut sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's hard to get rid of that. Even my grandpa used to run like 26 miles. Him and my grandma would run through the park and they'd run 26 miles on a daily. You know what I mean? And he still had the Hickman gut, right? But the thing is, so how do we know that I'm one of his children or grandchildren? Is I got the same thing, you know what I mean? Same body shape, even the same mentality, right? So when he said there shall be none remaining in the house of Esau, nobody else is going to be remaining in that same mind state. You understand? Because otherwise, how do we get to? Let's read Revelation 13 and 10. Because if it's true what we read in Obadiah, if it's and it is true that there shall be none remaining in the house of Esau, right? But if it means utterly vanished, all gone, well then how does Revelation 13 and 10 play out? Read that.
Revelation 13 and verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Okay, well if I utterly annihilate all those that put my people into captivity, well then how are they going to go into captivity? You see that? It's the so-called white man who put us in captivity, right? So how are they going to go into captivity if the Most High wipes them out completely?
But they can convert,
They've been converting for a long time.
and he's going to accept that.
Let's see. Let's go to Deuteronomy 31. And then where else do we go about that? In Zechariah, right?
14.
We'll go right to Zechariah. We ain't got to do the whole class all over again. Go to Zechariah, chapter 14. Y'all want to take the notes?
Zechariah 14 and 16 through 19.
Oh, okay, there we go. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16 through 19. The lot of sis.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16. And it shall come to pass that every one that is loved of all the nations which came against Jerusalem.
Okay, so you got Jerusalem, right? Let her get it. Let her get oh. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're at Zechariah 14, verse 16. Read that again.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem.
Right. So what nations came against Jerusalem? Against the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Seminole Indians, Argentinians, the Chileans, the Colombians, the Uruguayans, and the Mexicans. What nation is really just one that has always come against those people? The Edomites, right? So generally, he's saying nations because the other nations partook in that, but it's generally been the Edomites consistently throughout time whooping our ass. Excuse my French. All right? Read that.
Shall even go up from year to year to worship the king.
It said they shall go up from year to year to worship the king. They're going to worship Christ. You see that? Now these are the nations that came against Jerusalem. He said, y'all going to come and worship me. Go ahead.
The Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
See that? If they don't come do that, he's not going to let no rain fall on them. Did you jump a little bit? Seemed like you
Oh, I
jumped a
did.
little bit. Read it again.
I sure did. I'm
Read
sorry.
16.
It's like verse 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the king, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the feast of tabernacles.
They're going to keep what?
The feast of
And
tabernacles.
we got that coming up. All right, we got that coming up pretty soon, the Feast of Tabernacles. Tonight is actually starting the Day of Atonement, right? So they're going to come up and keep the Feast of Tabernacles. What is a feast that's going to come up? And that's not just Israelites, that's going to be the nations also. That's what we're reading, right?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 17. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the king, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
See that? If they don't come, he's going to punish them for not doing it. Y'all see that?
Correct.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast
You
of
say he going to
tabernacles.
smite the who?
Shall smite the heathen,
The what?
the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
Right, so if the heathen don't come and keep the Feast of Tabernacles with us, then guess what? He's going to smite them. He's going to hurt them with no rain. Now check this out. Go to Isaiah chapter 2. Start at verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 2.
See, there's camps out there that they want to bring that black power. They want revenge on Esau for all the wickedness that Esau did to us and all that. Christ is going to do that. He's going to take revenge on them for what they did. You understand? Our job is not for that. Our job ain't to do that. You understand? Yeah, they're going to go into captivity to us. You understand? But there's going to be an order about it. It's not going to be the way they served us. Like, is it going to be righteous for us to do the same things that they did to us? Can you imagine Abraham taking somebody's baby out of their stomach and bashing it against a tree? You think that was righteous? Right. So we're going to be a righteous nation. We're going to be a holy nation, a royal priesthood, right? And we're going to be raping their women?
Wow.
That ain't priestly. Rape is offense punishable by death according to the law. Y'all see that? So no, we're not going to be dealing with them like they dealt with us. The Most High is going to do that. He said the wicked are his sword. So he uses wicked nations to do that to them. You understand? That's why you got these the bombers and all this stuff is coming through. You got these people, some cat go out of his mind and go on a rape spree or go on a serial killer spree or something like that. He uses the wicked to do that. He don't use the righteous to do that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be righteous. If that was even in your mind state, right? Like Jeffrey Dahmer, he only did that to black people, but those types, Charles Manson types, right? If that's even in your mindset, you ain't righteous. But who does he use to do that? He takes the wicked and he lets them go on a serial killer spree. See that? He says spirits created for vengeance, as you read in the Apocrypha in Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, I think it's verse 22, right? Where he talks about the spirits are created for vengeance.
Yes, sir.
See that? So he got certain spirits created for that purpose of destroying the wicked, of hurting them. You understand? But the righteous ain't gonna be doing that. But you know what happened is brothers came in, you know, in the 70s and things like that, as the Black Power movement was just kind of fading out. You know what I mean? With Huey Newton dying and all these brothers that was raising up the Black Panther parties and the Malcolm X's, you know, and they thought they was gonna get revenge on their enemies, and then these guys got popped. Mm-hmm. And it was like, yeah, well, so they ain't gonna be on that turn of rebellion? Nope. That's why the Most High killed them. Because Christ gonna be the only one to deliver you. You see that? So, but they came into the truth. They found the truth and found out, hey, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I'm gonna try to bring this Black Power movement into here. Well, guess what? The Black Power movement don't fit in the scriptures. That's why the Most High killed every leader of the Black Power movement. Y'all see that? The real ones, not these fake knockoff Black Panthers and knockoff Islam and all this knockoff stuff they got now. All right, the cats really was picking up guns and was really ready to die for that cause. All right, and not sell out and become druggies and faggots. But yeah, it's Ecclesiasticus in there, chapter 39, verse 22. He said there'd be spirits that would be created for vengeance. Oh, 28. Sorry, verse 28.
Let me get it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 28.
So let's see how the Most High is going to take out his vengeance on Esau, and on all the nations that don't serve him. You can hold that Isaiah too, because we're going to go there. But you're in Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, that red book she just gave me? Yeah, 39, verse 28.
And it's on page 94.
All right. And what's your name, sis?
Tracy.
Tracy. Good to meet you. I'm Prince How Long. Got Locker Rob right here. And then Volante. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Right? So let's see what those spirits that are created for vengeance are going to be. Let's see if it's going to be the so-called Negro coming in as a Black Panther party, or it's going to be Che Guevara rising up in Bolivia, or it's going to be Pancho Villa in Mexico. Let's see if it's going to be any of them that's going to rise up and be able to destroy our enemies. Read.
Fire.
And hail. These are the spirits that are created for vengeance. See that? Fire, hail, what else?
And famine.
Famine, right? Starvation, go ahead.
And death.
Go ahead.
All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, and scorpions,
There you go.
serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
See that? He said the sword, right?
God.
It said, then when you go in Psalms, he said the wicked are his sword. You understand? Oh, right here. Let me get it. Psalms 17:13. He said, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my spirit from the wicked, which is thy sword." Y'all see that? So that's Psalm 17, verse 13 to prove that. So when he says that he's going to hit them with the sword, he's going to bring the wicked against them. He's going to bring these wicked nations against them. That's why who's mounting up against America right now? Who's mounting up against our oppressors? The so-called black man? Nah, he on Molly, he on Flocka, he on Jay-Z's crotch, he's on Beyonce's ass crack, right? So, and we're on drugs and heroin and everything else. So, it ain't us mounting up against America. Who is it? Russia, China, Syria. You see that? The wicked. He's bringing them against Esau. He's going to nuke them. You missed the Revelation breakdown last night, but it's an ongoing series. You're going to find out that ain't none of that gonna have to do with the so-called Negro being able to deliver himself. When you read Deuteronomy 28 verse 68, he said, I'm gonna bring you back into Egypt in ships. We'll go there, we got time. Alright? He said, I'm gonna bring you back into that bondage, slavery, captivity again with ships. And he said that no man was gonna buy you, no man's gonna redeem you. They're not gonna save you. It's gonna have to be Christ. Y'all see that? It's not gonna be no oh, we all banded together and made a black economy. That didn't work in Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You see that? Because we was too dumb to form a military. We formed an economic base and walked around in suits, but we forgot to pack guns. Come on, I could have took my 50 cal, walked down and shot down that crop duster that blew up Black Wall Street. But then nobody had no guns. You see that? So it ain't gonna be our economic base that saves us. It's gotta be the scriptures. You understand? The deliverance is gonna come through us having this knowledge and calling on the Most High. Alright, where we at?
Psalms chapter 17, verse 13.
No. In Ecclesiastes.
Oh, Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 28.
So he said the pestilence, famine, death, teeth of wild beasts, the sword, right?
Got it.
So we just found out the wicked are his sword. Go ahead.
You want me to start over at 28?
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39.
No, from where you left off.
Got it. Verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
See, the wicked are his sword, so he's going to take the wicked and use them against the wicked. So when you read in Isaiah where it says they're going to be your wives will be ravished, not by us. We're not going to be running around raping people. That ain't biblical. You understand? Nah, your women going to be ravished when them Koreans drop out of their planes, and them niggas can headbutt a brick. They can headbutt a whole stack of bricks and turn them into dust. I'm watching their training videos, man. They train by having a dude run like 50 yards and drop kick a dude in the neck, and he sit there, ugh. You know what I mean? And it takes it right in the neck. Like, that's how they train. I didn't see no American training videos like that. These cats is doing double backflips and landing on their tip of their nose and breaking through a pile of bricks and everything. That's who's gonna come ravish your women. Y'all see that? It ain't gonna be us. That ain't righteous. Y'all see that? That's why they're making all the movies, man. Red Dawn. They changed it from the Russians back in the 80s to the Koreans now.
Koreans, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because they know who's gonna come get them.
Where did these writings come from? This
That-
particular book.
Like I said, as until 1864, you was having that right here in the Bible. Matter of fact, one of the brothers, I don't know if it might be in that bag right there, but they still got a Bible with the Apocrypha in it. Apocrypha just means hidden books. They try to tell you now it means false or lies. Apocrypha in Greek means hidden books.
So it was taken
Hidden.
out?
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, we got books to show you. Christopher Columbus used the Apocrypha, the book of Esdras. He used that to find America, to find out there was a whole different side of the planet.
Are there any more hidden books?
Yeah, but the scriptures tell you if like all the books that can be written of Christ, the world would not be sufficient to hold them. You understand? So if the things that Christ did alone were written in books, the world wouldn't be sufficient to hold them. So what you read in the four Gospels, that wasn't his whole life. You understand? That ain't all the acts he did. When you read in the scriptures, you read about the book of the prophet Samuel. You read about the book of Iddo, I-D-D-O. You read about the book of Jasher, the book of Jubilees, the book of, you don't read about no book of Enoch. There's some camps that go into that. You don't read about no book of Enoch. You see that Enoch prophesied, but at the time of Enoch, we had an oral tradition. The only writing he did was with Methuselah and Noah, where they inscribed the history of the world on stones.
And how do you know that?
There's a book right here. It's called the Adams Sin Chronological Chart of History. And also it's in the Josephus, which is a Jewish historian. All right, so you got Adams Sin Chronological Chart of or Map of History. right here. It unfolds real like 25 feet long, so, but it gives you all the timelines of all the brothers in the Bible and stuff like that. And we're gonna get to this point I was saying. And this is in the book of Josephus. I found it in there. If you got that Josephus over there, blue. And that Josephus is a Jewish historian he's not a prophet, but he's a historian. All right, so just like America has their historians, we had our historians. All right, and this man quotes from the book of Josephus, but it says Methuselah talked with Adam 243 years, learning the world's history. Now you know Methuselah was 969 years old, right, when he died. So he was able to talk with Adam for 243 years. So the first man, right? They said learning the world's history from the beginning. He wrote it on these two pillars or books. Moses had access to these books. See that? So they show a little, little statue of them or a little relief of them drawing everything in stone. But you don't read about no book of Enoch. And that was Methuselah, Noah, and Shem. And they did that for the people that were going to come after the flood. You understand? So these things survived the flood. But we didn't do books. We did an oral tradition. You understand? So, things like that. The book of Josephus, where he quotes that from, it goes into things like that. So we see that there's a lot of hidden books all over the place. You know what I mean? But right now, so far as what lines up with the original Hebrew and what lines up with the Bible, as a matter of fact, give me Isaiah 8 and 20. But the things that line up with the Bible, then you're not finding a lot of stuff out there. Like people are saying, "Oh, we found the book of Enoch, and it was written in this ancient Ethiopian, Coptic Ethiopian, and this and that." Okay, well, Enoch was a Hebrew. Why the hell would he write in Ethiopian if we had a writing system at the time of Enoch? Why would he write it in Ethiopian? He would have wrote it in Hebrew. You see that? So how you find it in Ethiopian? Well, that's because when you read about the book of Enoch in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, you find out the book of Enoch was a book written under the name of Enoch, but it was actually written by the Pharisees. Now, these are the people that killed Christ. Do I want to read a book written by them? Do I want to put stock in that? You see that? No. But they wrote it under the name of Enoch. You know what I mean? I can write, the book of Mary. You know what I mean? And say, oh, this is dedicated to Mary, the mother of Jesus, but that will make it her book. You see that? Where you at?
Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20.
Read that.
To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word.
Right. If they don't speak according to the Bible, if they don't speak according to this knowledge, read.
It is because there is no light in them.
See, there ain't no wisdom in it. So that's the scriptures telling you that. So if you go into the book of Enoch and he started telling you to worship angels and to call my name and do all this stuff, and then you read in the Bible where it says don't get caught up into the involuntary worship of angels and worshiping the signs of heaven and all that. Well, okay, then I can't go with the book of Enoch because it doesn't coincide with the scriptures. You understand? So a lot of the books that they're so-called finding and saying, oh, this is the book of Joshua, or this is the book of Enoch, or this, we can't really put a stock in them because a lot of times as you go and read into the book, a few pages in, you find out this is completely blasphemous against the scriptures. You see that? Now you might find certain things where they took a history of somebody, that actually existed. Okay, that's cool. I might be able to use it for that, but I can't use it for so far as, worshiping angels. I can go in the Book of Mormon and find out that the Native Americans believed that they were the tribes of Israel. But they also go in there and tell you that the so-called white man was the original man and the blackness was a curse. That ain't true. You see that? So, just little things like that. Well, yeah, there are a lot of other books. We stick to the Bible and the Apocrypha, and pretty much any books that are gonna basically edify all those things. Like if you get an encyclopedia and you look up Sumerian, and you find out, dang, okay, we were in Sumer, we were in Sumer. We were known as Hebrews then. or Mesopotamia. We ruled Mesopotamia, which is supposed to be the most ancient of all the civilizations. We ruled that under Abraham's great grandfather. See what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna put stock in these books because they coincide with the scriptures. Because the scriptures tell you that Abraham came out of Ur of the Chaldees, which is in southern Mesopotamia. And here I got a book that says that Eber ruled southern Mesopotamia, a city called Ebla. See that? So okay, I'll use that. But if it don't speak according to this word, there's no light in it. See that? Now check this out. Read in Zondervan. What you had about Bible, right? So when you look in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, you can have it out under the heading of Bible. Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of them. Yes. The Bible is only like 2 pages. And I was talking for that.
Same thing.
Same page over there?
No, not the same page, but you'll see it. She'll know exactly where we're going because it's going to be set up soon.
Okay. Yeah. In the Bible, in the King James Version, second paragraph, it says, without delay, King James nominated 54 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day.
See that? So he took 54. It wasn't King James that wrote the Bible. See that? That's why when you read it, it says King James authorized version.
Translated it, right?
No, he had nothing to do with it. He just authorized the translators. He said, you got my authority to go ahead and do this. He made them do it. All right? Because he wanted him and his predecessor, Queen Elizabeth I, also with Henry VIII, her father, they were Protestants. Basically, they wanted the Bible to be able to be taught to everyone, not just clergy. You understand? But other ruling factions like the Roman Catholic Church didn't want that to happen. So Henry VIII, when he died, Queen Elizabeth took up that cause, and she wanted to get that done, right? But her cousin, I think her name was Anne Boleyn, they called her Bloody Mary, right? She didn't want that to happen. She was part of the Catholicism thing, so she didn't want that to happen. So she was beheading anybody that was teaching the Bible to just lay people. You understand? She was having them beheaded. That's why she was known as Bloody Mary. So when you get to King James took up for Queen Elizabeth I. These were all black people. All right, and we can show you that too. Yeah, these were all Hebrew Israelites that ruled Europe. All right, King James I took over for his cousin Queen Elizabeth. He was King James of Scotland, but because Elizabeth didn't have an heir to pass down the throne to, he took over as King James I of England. All right, so as he took over, he kept that cause going of trying to get the Bible to everybody. So he took 54 scholars. He nominated 54 scholars that were the best Hebrew and Greek scholars. All right. So if anybody was going to get the best, it was going to be the king, right? Because hey, if you mess up, you miss a jot or a tittle off with your head, right? So these guys were under pressure to make sure they did it right. Okay. So he nominated 54 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars. Go ahead.
Only 47 actually took part in the work.
See that? Well, 7 of them didn't do it. 47 scholars, though. Your Bible has been filtered through 47 scholars of Hebrew and Greek languages. You understand? Go ahead.
Which did not begin until 1607.
Go ahead.
They were divided into 6 groups. 3 for the OT, the Old Testament.
Right. So yeah, 3 groups were dedicated just to the Old Testament, from Genesis all the way to Malachi. Right. Go ahead.
2 for the New.
2 for the New Testament. Go ahead.
And 1 for the Apocrypha.
And 1 for the Apocryphal books, to make sure that those books were translated from the Hebrew into every language on the earth also. You see that? So the Apocryphal was originally in the Bible. All right. You had the Nicene Council, actually the Council of Carthage, like back in 325 AD. They tried to take those books out also because they believed they were non-canonical or non-holy. All right. This was the Council of Carthage. You can look up all this stuff. All right. They tried to take those books out. So that's why he had to have another group set for the Apocrypha. You understand? Because they were trying to take those books out at that time. Because, it shows you that Alexander the Greek wasn't this great guy that we thought he was. You know what I mean? That he died of this mysterious disease that he inflicted from his horse. Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes, was that the Most High was with him. So they wanted to take certain things like that out of the book. Darius, Cyrus, things like that. They want to take these people out of the book because it showed that the European system of government wasn't exactly on point. You understand? And while they're trying to institute during the Renaissance, they're trying to institute, hey, we're the cradle of civilization. But the Bible's showing you they're the end of civilization. You see that? They tell you Jacob is the beginning of the world and Esau is the end of the world. You see that? So they know they were Esau, so they're like, we gotta hide this. The Council of Carthage was Greeks. We gotta hide this. Tell me, blow the lid off of who we are. Y'all see that? But the problem was is that the parts they left in the Bible gave you an understanding that, you know what, this belongs in the Bible. So when you go into Esdras, first and second Esdras is actually third and fourth Ezra in the Bible. All right? Because Ezra and Nehemiah are the first two books of Ezra. All right? Then Esdras is the third and fourth books. When you go into Ruth, right? When you go into the book of Ruth, or Esther, sorry. When you go into Esther, when you go into the Bible, it stops at 10 verse 3. Well, how many scriptures stop at verse 3? When you go into the Apocrypha, it picks up 10 verse 4. Then it shows you the parts that were inside of those books. Like, okay, this is the letter that the King Artaxerxes wrote. You see that? So you find out that a lot of this have the missing pieces. That's why, come on, this is from Cambridge University Press. You think Cambridge is going to put something out that's just a bunch of fairy tales?
So did you study at a particular school, or was this something that the Most High just anointed you to understand and put together?
Oh no, I studied at this school. I have an elder. You understand? And he taught me, and now, see, in here we teach others to become teachers. It's not church. You know what I mean? You're here to study, to teach. You see that? So when you're here, you're studying so you'll be able to break it down to the next person. So yeah, I picked it up from my elders. I picked it up from multiple elders, not just one. I had multiple elders when I came in. Then I conversed with people from the old school that were part of the original system of bringing this information out. And verify certain things with them, new findings and all that, we verify through those elders. So all this information has been filtered to give you something pure instead of something that just, hey, I believe this, or I feel like this. That's why I'm giving you dates. I'm giving you actual names in history. If I tell you Queen Elizabeth I is black, we can show you Queen Elizabeth I was black. You understand?
So you got it all down here.
Do you guys have like particular days when you teach just the history? I mean, how do you go about teaching the whole entire?
That we're trying to work out, but see, the thing is, the Spirit goes as it wants to. All right. So, I had set up Mondays I'm gonna teach history, or Mondays I'll do the Revelation breakdown. Yeah. But what happens is somebody come in, ask questions, and class go into a whole nother era. Like just right now, right? We just finished the reading, and you're coming in, but you want to know certain things. Okay, well, let's teach you. You see that? So class goes according to we don't just keep barreling class along and make you catch up. No, we started for you. All right? It's going to be catered to you because the goal of it is that all Israel got to be saved through these scriptures. All right? And if Israel don't get saved, if they don't get that knowledge, what good was it to just have class? You see that? Like you miss 2 weeks in biology class, right? What happened? Yeah, you better catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You better get in that, read that book on your own, because we're not going to start class all over the mitochondrial DNA and all that when we already on a biomolecular whatever, right? We're not going to start back for you. You understand? So they're not going to do that there, but we'll do it here for you. What's that? Yeah. Oh, I thought you had something else. Yeah. But yeah, did that answer your question though about the Apocrypha and everything?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then so far as the nations, you're seeing that what we read in Zechariah. But let's go to Isaiah chapter 2.
Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 1.
There's a question online. I think you answered it, but just
What's that?
he said asking if the book of Enoch is a must read, right? I know you touched
No.
on it,
Yeah, the book of Enoch is not even mentioned in the scriptures. Like I said, if a prophet wrote a book or there was a book written about the prophet, they said it was that prophet's book. All right, you can find a book that you can find in the scriptures where it tells you about the book of Jubilees, the book of Asher, the book of the prophet Edo, the book of of Samuel. You understand? It tells you these things, but you don't read about no book of Enoch. All right, when you're reading that in the New Testament, you see Enoch prophesied. That means he talked. That means he should have had a scribe like Jeremiah. Jeremiah had Baruch. Baruch was a scribe and wrote down everything Jeremiah did. Followed him around. All right, he was a fellow prophet also, but he was the writer of the group. So he has a book, Jeremiah, and he also has the book of Baruch, and the Apocrypha. See that? But yeah, you don't read about the book of Enoch. But yeah, this is that book, sis. It's called Sex and Race. Nature Knows No Color Line. He also wrote Sex and Race. But this is by a scholar named J.A. Rogers. And right there on the cover, you got, I think this is Princess Sophia, but she's shown as a dark-skinned woman. You see that? You got all through it. It's going to show you Queen Elizabeth. A lot of noted people in history as they were, Charlotte Sophia, Queen of England, from 1744 to 1818. See that? That's a black woman. You see that? As you go all through the book, he'll show you noted scholars, authors, inventors, musicians, Beethoven, Mozart. These were all brothers. But when they got repainted in that European image in the Renaissance, what they called the rebirth. Yeah, right here you got us in all these different coats of arms for the English. It was an honor for them to put us in their family, to say that we were part of their family. Even to this day, you know, we in America, we Negroes in America, we're unenlightened, so we see the English putting that blackface on, and we take that as an insult, because when they did blackface here, they meant it to insult us. When they do it over in England, they do it to honor us. You understand? Because it was an honor for them to have black people in their family. The Moors, the Moorish, they do this dance. It's like it's something Moorish dance, and they all get in blackface and they go down the street and they do this dance that we taught them. You understand? So that book will show you that. He got Nature Knows No Color Line, Sex and Race. He got a lot of books, man. J.A. Rogers. Yeah, he had 3 volumes of that Sex and Race. From Superman to Man, 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro, Africa's Gift to America, the 5 Negro Presidents. See that? So a lot of people don't even know that. Like, no, George Washington wasn't the first president. We had 8 before him. They were just known as the United States and Congress Assembly. And 5 of them were black. Way before Obama. You see that? So yeah, they teach about John Hanson, but there was 4 other ones. And this is all before Barack Obama stepped in office. And then he's African, so that don't even pertain to us. Yeah. Well, let me see. That new research from that other book is saying that he's actually a Negro too. So he'd be like the 6th black president of the United States. Well, they're gonna teach you that in school, right? They ain't got you teaching that. Why?
Well, I teach math and science, so.
Oh, okay. There you go. Do they tell you who invented a lot of these inventions that y'all talk about in science class?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Europeans.
They say it's Europeans, right? Did you know the atom bomb was not invented by Oppenheimer? Nah, it was invented by a brother. And he taught Albert Einstein. You understand? So yeah, we got, you know, video books, stuff like that. The high priest out in New York, he was showing us the books. I got the video of it, but he was showing us how this man taught Oppenheimer and the other guy, I forgot his name. But he taught them. But now when you see about the atom bomb, you read about Oppenheimer, right? This Jewish guy. Wow. They pushed the other guy to the background because he's the one that actually invented it, but he was a Negro. You see that? They don't tell you a lot about what's going on in this world was made by us. You see that? You got any other questions?
Not right now.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, we're going to go through everything scripturally, though. Read out Isaiah 2.
Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of
Amos,
right, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall follow into it.
Right. All the nations shall what?
Flow into it.
Right. All the nations are going to flow into Israel. Y'all see that? Well, how's that going to happen? I thought they was all going to be wiped out and it was just going to be Israelites left. Read on.
And many people shall go and say, Come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of God of Jacob. To the house of God, to the house
of the God of Jacob.
The God of Jacob, And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths.
See that? He will teach us his ways. Okay, that means they don't know the ways already. See that? And we will walk in his paths. We're going to do what the Negroes do. We're going to do what the Mexicans do. You see that? Why? Because the Most High is with them. He's not with us. Y'all see that? Well, how's this going to happen if all these other nations been annihilated off the face of the planet? Y'all see that? Because if the black power groups get their way, right, and all the revolutionaries get their way, the so-called revolutionaries, right, if they get their way, it ain't going to be nothing but black people on earth. You got sects of Israelites that'll say, the other tribes, those ain't Israelites. If they lighter than me, they ain't Israelites. Like, come on, man. Most of them slaves getting off the ships was getting raped, or the white woman was sleeping with the black man coming off the ships and having little white babies are Judite kings. You see that? Mariah Carey, she looked whiter than she looked about as light as you, right? But her father's a Negro. Y'all see that? Tiger Woods, his dad hood as hell. You know what I mean? You wouldn't know looking at him. You see that? So going off of skin color, we can't do that because if we leave it up to them, they're gonna judge off of skin color. You know what I mean? And you gonna what about David? He was known as ruddy. He was light skinned. You gonna cut him out? Y'all see that? Well, you gonna cut him out just because he doesn't fit your little color wheel? So all the nations gonna flow into Israel. Now we're not saying that there are not gonna be nations that ain't gonna die. They are going to be slaughtered en masse. It's only gonna be a remnant that's gonna remain. And they're going to be servants. Go ahead.
For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Okay, from Jerusalem, from Zion, to who? If you send a letter, right, from Volante to myself, right? Like, it got to go somewhere. So where's this law going to? It's going to the nations that don't have it. Go ahead.
And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people.
See that? He's going to judge among the nations and rebuke many people. All the nations. Go ahead.
And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks.
Now let's go to Isaiah 60. And you can actually start at verse 1 on that one.
Isaiah chapter 16, verse 1. Arise, shine. I'm sorry.
Did you say 60 or 16?
60. Uh-huh. I lost the name just that quick. I'm sorry. Tracy. Okay. I was gonna say Stacy. No, that ain't it. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 16, verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and the gross darkness of the people.
All right, gross darkness is gonna cover the people. He's talking about there's gonna be a time where there's gonna be a lot of unintelligent people running around the earth. You understand? So that time from 70 AD, the destruction of Jerusalem, all the way up to about 1970, we had gross darkness, man. Our people were in gross darkness. They were slaves. It was being traded as slaves and had left off of the Bible. Y'all see that?
Right.
So darkness had covered the earth, and gross darkness had covered the people. Go ahead.
But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gentiles shall come by thy light.
What?
And the Gentiles shall come by thy light.
That's interesting, because I thought they was all going to be killed.
To thy light.
The Gentiles shall come to your light.
Yes.
Whoa, okay. Maybe those Gentiles were Israelites. Where's that zombie band at? Let's find out what a Gentile is. And I'm saying this in a mocking tone, not to mock you, but again, we got people watching online, and there's a lot of camps that was really trying to push this Israel and nobody else kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the same mentality of America, man. God bless America and nobody else. You know what I mean? That's the same, but the Most High is the God of all of them. You understand? We're just going to be the ruling body. We understand that. We're going to be the one that rules this whole earth in righteousness, the way it's supposed to be ran. So yeah, we are better than them, than the nations, in the sense that it was made for us. The whole world was made for our sake. You understand? And that's in 2nd Esdras in your Bible, that's or in your Apocrypha, chapter 6, verse 56 down. He said, because you made the world for our sake.
Gentiles. It says a non-Israelite people.
Uh-oh. So, read where you're at again.
And the Gentiles shall come to thy light.
Okay, these non-Israelite people are going to come to our light. You see that? They're going to be converted. When you read about John Hyrcanus, way back in, that was around 300 AD. He was doing the same thing. He was converting Edomites. He was converting the Edomites as he conquered them. He was converting them to Judaism. That's why we got all them Khazars running around in our nation right now. Those so-called white people, they really think they're the Jews because he converted their forefathers. It's really our fault. We let them in. And when the white man came in and killed us, he was killing Jews, so he would kill us by skin color. But he saw them running around and he left them there. You understand? So we got chased into Africa. We were running into Africa while they stayed in our land. See that? And then when they came in as the Ottoman Turks in the 1400s, they really came in en masse and started converting to Judaism to escape the Catholics and the Muslims. All right? So there's a little history getting thrown in there too. Go ahead.
And kings to the brightness of thy rising.
Uh-huh.
Lift up thine eyes around about, and see all they gather themselves together.
See that? Look up and see. They all gathering themselves together. Go ahead.
They come to thee. Thy son shall come from afar, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side.
Uh-huh.
Then thou shalt see, and flow together, and thine heart shall fear, and be enlarged, because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee.
Right, we learned last night during that Revelation breakdown that the sea represented the nations of the earth. The abundance of the nations of the earth is going to be converted to you. Y'all see that?
Come.
Go ahead.
The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
Wait. The forces of the who?
The forces of the Gentiles
And who are the Gentiles again?
A non-Israelite people.
Okay, right, go ahead.
shall come unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The
Dromedaries.
dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come.
So the Africans are gonna come, right? The Ethiopians, that's what Sheba represents, right? They're gonna come, right? Even though the scriptures say you Ethiopians also shall be slain by my sword, right? Niggas love to jump up and yell that. You Ethiopians gonna be slain by my sword, right? Okay, but then who are these people of Sheba? But yeah, they're gonna be slain by the sword, but some of them gonna bow down and obey. That's why you got over there the Phalasha Jews, right? They're known as false Jews, but they hold the Israelite customs. And have been doing it for hundreds of years. Y'all see that? Because they hold to the laws that was taught to them through Christ. When Christ went to Samaria, he taught those Cushites, he taught them about the Most High. He taught them Christ. When Philip taught that Ethiopian eunuch, he went back to Ethiopia and taught them and broke things down. Y'all see that? So yeah, all these other nations gonna come to us, and they're gonna be hey, appreciate it, bro.
All right.
They're gonna be learning our ways. All right. So yeah, you got scriptures that say the Ethiopians shall be slain by my sword. There should be none remaining of the house of Esau. Yeah, there's not gonna be nobody in that mind state no more. He's not gonna utterly kill them because they're gonna be servants. The Ethiopians gonna be servants. Read on.
They shall bring gold and incense.
They're gonna be bringing the gold and incense. We ain't gonna be out there having to mine gold and doing that. We're gonna be kings. Kings and princesses and the royal priesthood. We ain't gonna be the royal priesthood ain't gonna be getting their hands dirty. Y'all see that? When you look at the laws for the priesthood, the priests couldn't get dirty. They couldn't even sweat. They had to wear clothes and made it so they didn't sweat. Y'all see that? So who's gonna be mining that gold? Who's gonna be bringing up jewels out of the rocks? The servants. Y'all see that? The nations. Go ahead.
And they shall show forth the paradise, the praise of the Lord.
They're gonna be doing what?
They shall show forth the praise of the Lord.
The nation's gonna be praising the Most High too. Go ahead.
All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The ram of
Just like we read in Romans chapter 10. How are they going to praise the Most High if who are they going to believe in Him who they have not heard? And how should they hear without a preacher? Well, who's going to be the preachers? Israel. We just read that in Isaiah 2. Right? We're going to be teaching them. Go ahead.
all the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered unto thee.
See, I love reading this because it bursts a lot of Negroes' bubble, man. It bursts a lot of these black power Negroes' bubble, man, because they thought they was just going to be it. You know what I mean? We're going to do away with everybody else. Okay, well, that means you ain't going to have no different flavors on the earth. There's a bunch of black people running around, that's it. That's all you're going to choose from? See that? Oh, I'm going to do this. Well, what about the 2/3 of Israel that's going to be cut off? 2/3 of black people is going to be cut off. They're not even going to get that chance to deal with this level right here. They're going to be in servitude also. What about the fact that the first ships that were brought over here shipping slaves to America was run and operated and financed by Negroes themselves? What do you say then? He that leadeth into the captivity shall go into captivity. Uh-oh. The Oprah Winfreys of the world, the Michael Jordans of the world that put people in captivity because they own most of the damn prisons, right? They want to go into captivity. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
So what do you say about them? They dark skinned. Like I said, it burst a lot of Black Power Negroes' bubble, man, because they came out of religion and then they learned about the scriptures and how Christ didn't come for nobody but Israel. That's true. So they thought, okay, that means everything's us. Yes, it is all ours. But every king got servants, man. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna work in my own dungeon. That don't make no sense. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go from the throne to whipping slaves, then back on the throne, run back and forth all day. That's not a king, that's a servant. Y'all see it? Nah, we're gonna be ruling. We're gonna have them doing the work. Y'all see that? Go ahead. And any Edomite that you see come in here, you see I ain't spared because there's Edomites here, right? They gotta accept this. You understand? They gotta accept this truth. And they've been here for years. Well, she's been here for years. Decade, almost decades, right? 15 years, right? Yeah. She's new joining us, but they've heard all this, and they're still here. See that? You got some to come in, I don't want to do that, and they roll out. Cool. When we get to verse 12, we're going to see what happens to you. Y'all see that? Well, go ahead.
The rams of Nebato,
Where you at?
verse 7,
Go ahead.
shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar,
Mm-hmm.
and I will glorify the house of my God.
Right?
8. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the dove to the windows? Surely these isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first,
Which is Spain.
to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee.
Right? So all these nations are going to be bringing our children to Israel. See that? Because we got brothers in Germany. You got Judites in Germany, man. During World War II, those white women love black men over there. To this day, they do. So when we were going over there, they was the first ones jumping on a Negro out there. Well, what happened to all them kids? They didn't come back to America. They still out there in Germany. You see that? Well, those are all Jews. Who's gonna bring them to Israel? We ain't in Germany like that to where we got a force to bring them. No, the Germans are gonna bring them to Israel. You see that? They gonna bring your sons and your daughters from far. If they was out here in America, it's gonna be American ships bringing them over. We think where's our Air Force? Where's our Navy at? Where's the Mexican Navy? The black man's Navy? Right? When they start shooting us in the streets, do we get to deploy our armies to the streets? We don't have none of that. You understand? So who's going to do it? The nations, all their forces are going to be converted to us. And they're going to be running them ships over here. I don't know how to steer no damn ship. Y'all see it?
Yeah.
So it ain't going to be us bringing ourselves back. It's going to be these nations bringing us to Israel. Y'all see that?
All right.
Go ahead.
And to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls.
Who's the strangers? We ain't strange. We the Israelites. We know who we are. Who's the strangers?
Gentiles.
That's the Gentiles, the heathen, the nations, right? Go ahead.
And their kings shall minister unto thee.
So the sons of strangers are going to build up our walls. Uh-oh. Their kings are going to minister, meaning to help us. They're going to be rubbing your feet, and they're going to be making sure that your cars shine.
Mm-hmm.
They said that you're going to take the highest of them, their kings, and make them ministers. They're going to be running around as servants. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
For in my wrath I will smote thee.
Right? So in my wrath I smote you. In my wrath I beat you. Talking to Israel. Go ahead.
But in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Right. See that? But when I have favor on you, when I start shining on you again, I'm gonna have mercy on you. How? Go ahead.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night.
Right.
That the men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
Uh-oh.
And that their kings
Y'all see that?
And that,
they ain't getting in the kingdom. Yeah, they are. Men will bring them to us.
Mhm.
See that? Just like they brought us over in cargo slave ships, men gonna bring them to us. We're gonna have to clean them up and do all that. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. This ain't righteous, man. Clean them up. We ain't gonna be doing them like they did us, though. You know what I mean? Slide them down a slide into a bath of water and throw a lie at them and burn half their skin off. We ain't gonna be doing them like they did us. You understand? We're gonna be doing them righteously, but they're still gonna be in servitude. You understand? Go ahead.
and that their kings may be brought.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. For the nation and kingdom, for the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
What? What's gonna happen?
For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Oh, you don't like that Jesus is black? Cool.
Shall perish.
Off with your head. You understand? Or you don't like that the true Jews are black and we're gonna be running things? Well, off with your head. You got those options. You know what I mean? Okay, be black.
Mhm.
You understand? You the diehard KKK neo-Nazi? Okay, well, you ain't gonna have us rule over you? Off with your head. Those are your options. Bow or die. You see that? So yeah, anybody coming in here, I don't pull no punches with that. We read them the same scriptures. If they still here, more power to them. Because even Christ had to tell that Samaritan or that Syrophoenician woman, great is thy faith. You know what I mean? And he had to tell the other one, he said, I have not seen such a great faith, no, not in all Israel. When he talked to the centurion, the Italian man. You understand? He said, I have found so great faith in all of Israel. He was talking to nations. Y'all see that? To Gentiles. A lot of them will be, like I said, many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. A lot of them going to be up there, getting palms in their hands, worshiping Christ, because your black ass couldn't accept the fact that there was going to be nations around. And you didn't want to bow to that. Just like a lot of them going to be getting thrown in slavery and death and captivity, because they didn't want to accept the fact that the real people of the Most High was dark-skinned, and it wasn't them. It's going to be fair. Equity. You see that?
I guess I was just kind of startled because I thought the whole intent and purpose was to inform the so-called Negro, so that they would know who they are and how to live within this particular situation that we're in.
Oh yeah, and that's what we do. You know, like I said, class is not even half of what it usually is. So the scriptures do say raise the tents of Judah first. You know, so we go to the so-called Negro, we go to them first, because they won't be the leaders. Just like they lead the rap industry, they lead the R&B industry, they lead in clothing, they lead in everything we do. The nations follow, right? So we gotta teach them first, because once they start waking the hell up, the other nations gonna be like, hey, that's what Negroes are doing. That's what's in now. Okay, you got Amari Stoudemire, right? I forgot who he played for, but you know, basketball player, right? You got this actor, I forgot his name, man, but hopefully he ain't offended by that. You know, Chingy, you had the dude Antoine Dobson, right? The hide your wife, hide your kids guy, right? You got a lot of them, they waking up to who they are. So now you got a lot of other people popping up. Lamar Odom, you know, he was releasing that clothing line with the tribe of Judah, with the lion on there. You know what I mean? The true Jews are black kind of clothing line. He was introducing that. So as people start seeing, man, he's, you know, Kaepernick, right? Talking about I'm not gonna pledge to the flag and growing his fur out and everything. People gonna start adopting that mentality. You know what I mean? And then the nations are gonna catch that. Now what's in? Growing your beard out.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Wait, I thought y'all was into shaving all your stuff off. Now it's, you gotta grow that out. Why? Because since the 70s, we've been showing people in the Bible you're not supposed to do that. You don't shave your face. So now what are men getting comfortable with now? I'm gonna grow my lion mane out. You see what I'm saying? Sisters putting on a head covering. Now that's like getting more common. Now you see white girls running around doing that. Chinese girls run around with with a scarf on and things like that. Why? With fringes on their clothes, right? Where is that coming from? They're borrowing from our customs. We're leading the world like we used to. You understand? As soon as we start getting back to what we are, they're going to start going back to what they were. You understand? Because remember, when you read in the Bible even, was not God dealing with the Egyptian king before Abraham came in there? He's the one told him not to sleep with Abraham's wife. See that? Told him in a vision, which he only gives to the prophets. He said, don't sleep with Abraham's wife. That's a man's wife. You see that? Well, how did he get that communication? Because all the nations used to bow under the Most High, under Christ. You understand? But at a certain time, they all decided, I'm not going to deal with that no more. That's why when he told us to wipe out certain nations, he said, go destroy the sinners, the Amalekites. Well, the Amalekites are children of Esau. Why did he call them sinners? Because at one point, they knew the law of Abraham. Because Esau was Isaac's son. See that? So at one point, they knew what to do right, and they stopped doing it. You see that? When you read about us coming out of Egypt, we came with a mixed multitude. Mixed with what? See what I'm saying? All the nations that the Egyptians had conquered, with us as the kings. When we conquered Ethiopia, that's why Moses had an Ethiopian wife. You think he had a common Ethiopian? He just found some big forehead, curly haired girl and was like, hey, I like you. He had a princess because he conquered Ethiopia. You understand? So the princess of Ethiopia was his wife. His other wife was a high priest of Midian's daughter. He was getting dimes, the top shelf. But he didn't have one Israelite wife.
So it's okay for me to intermarry as long as he's converting?
These brothers came in like that. They came in with wives like that. We don't because the law tells us not to do that, not to go out and marry their wives and stuff like that. We're not supposed to do it like that. But did it happen? Yes. Did it happen all through the scriptures? Yes. And it was because these were men that were not going to be deterred to worshiping those strange gods. Because that's what the whole purpose was. He said, don't do that, or they will surely lead your heart to other gods. You understand? Just like he said, don't multiply wives. He told the kings that, right? Because what? After a while, what happened to Solomon? He had 1,000 women, multiplied, right? And so they led him to other gods. He had wives of the other nations that led him to other gods when he got old. But while he was in his young man days, he wasn't serving no other gods. You see that? Moses didn't end up serving no other gods. David had strange wives. He didn't serve no other gods. You understand?
So for the men, but for me as a woman, if it's not okay for me to intermarry.
It's not okay for the men to either. No. Yeah, you got 12 tribes of Israel to choose your man out of. You understand? So we tell our people that's who you marry right there. If you come in and you've already, because we weren't all raised Israelites, right? So some people come in and hey, you got a Edomite wife or you got a Chinese wife or whatever. As long as they accept what we teach it, sit down. You understand? We won't break up a person's marriage. That ain't lawful either. You understand? But if that man is not going to be deterred by that woman, like I had a brother come here all the way from Missouri. I drove him on personal expense, drove him and all his house and goods from Missouri down here. He had to eat my wife. So while I'm telling him certain things and everything, he's over there teaching her. Well, when she found out that he couldn't have sex with her on her period, she started all of a sudden whispering, yeah, these guys are like human traffickers and they doing this and that. And then he coming at me all of a sudden like, yeah, we're leaving. We're not going to get involved in this madness that you're into. It's like, madness, bro. We've been talking on the internet for a year, bro. You've been watching our videos. You've been following this truth for a year. And now you come down here and all of a sudden we human traffickers? Where'd that come from? Well, my wife was telling me she seen something like this on. Oh, okay, so my wife told you this and spit that in your ear, so now you're gone? You're too weak to have a non-Israelitish woman. You understand? So yeah, we don't tell them to do that because a lot of times they don't accept what is going on in here. But that happens with Israelite women too. You got brothers come in with their Israelite wives and you in a cult. I'm not doing that. Okay, well, anymore they all damn Gentile minded. You see that? We're trying to convert all our people back to that so the other nations can follow. But yeah, I mean, if you already got one, like I said, we ain't gonna break you up. You know what I mean? You got we got another sister. She got an Edomite husband now. We came in like that. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna break y'all up, break up your family. Tell you, hey, get rid of them kids. They're Edomites too. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna do that. That's your family. As long as they all bow to the law, statutes, and commandments of Christ, and know that there's going to be an order in that new kingdom, and they accept that too, they can roll too. All right. Anything else?
I have 2 questions online.
What we got?
One guy says, after you're a servant, will there be a way to get out of that?
In the kingdom.
Kind of, I'm guessing that's what he means.
Will there be a way to get out of servitude?
Kind of.
Nah, that's gonna be a forever thing, man. that's gonna be a forever thing. But like I said, it's gonna be a servitude that you're gonna be okay with. Like when you read about us having servants in our original status, in the Mosaic times and everything like that, you read about there was servants that you had that was happy to serve you. And they was like, listen, our family is gonna be bound to your family, right? You get that kind of thing in Batman, right? You got Alfred, right? He's like, I'm bound to your family. They even at the year of Jubilee where they could have been let free, because at the year of Jubilee we let our slaves, our captives go free, or our servants, right? Unless they said they wanted to be bound to us, then we struck an awl through their ear. We put our mark on them, gave them a jewel or something like that represented that they were part of our family. And if they had children, their children were bound to our family as servants. See that? Well, why did they go into that contract? Because we weren't sitting there, you know what I mean? Hey, let me rape your wife real quick. You know what I mean? Hey, let me get your daughter real quick and rape her in front of you. Let me strap you down to a spread eagle on the ground and have me and my neighbors run a train on you and you're a man. We weren't doing those things to them. You understand? It wasn't slavery like what they instituted. That kind of slavery came about with the Arabs and the white man. We didn't do that.
Yeah, life was so good with us.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't want to leave because they already had it so good.
Yeah, like when you read about, Josephus, I think it is, but when the Queen of Sheba, the Ethiopian queen, when she came to greet Solomon, she actually fell down before one of his guards. He was so decked out, she thought he was Solomon. You understand? Now the guards of Solomon would have been passed down from his father David, who had 600 Philistine guards. Wait, the Philistines, didn't he kill David? What was David and Goliath about? He killed the strongest of the Philistines, right? How the hell he ended up with 600 guards of the Philistines guarding his body, guarding his person? They loved David, man. You understand? When Solomon had them, he decked them all out. They all looked like kings. Who wouldn't love that? So you're going to be in a righteous servitude. It's going to be a servitude you ain't going to want to be. It's like we're going to be servants of Christ. We ain't going to want to leave that. You understand? We're not going to go, oh man, I got to be serving for eternity. Damn. To Christ? Oh, okay, that's different. You understand? It's going to be the same thing. We're going to rule in righteousness. You know what I mean? Abraham, he had 318 servants. He trained them to be killers, man. They took over 4 nations. These weren't Israelites. You understand? Abraham came out of Ur the Chaldees with 2 other people. One of them died. He had Lot. Lot and his wife, and him and his wife came out with 2 people. The 318 servants weren't Israelites. They weren't Hebrews. Right. But they fought for it. Y'all see that? So we gotta think of things like that when we try to consider, like, oh yeah, the nations ain't getting in, the nations this, the nations that. Now, are they getting into the kingdom of heaven? Like, are they gonna be part of that 144,000? No. That's gonna be the ruling body. Those are gonna be Israelites, like we read in Revelation chapter 7. All right. Any other questions? You say we had 2 online.
The second one says, I believe the Most High speaks messages through dreams. It wasn't a question, I guess it was a statement.
It was a statement to the question above that we were reading.
Oh, okay, all right.
I have a scripture that goes with that. The dream.
What's that?
John 1 and First John 4:1. 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit. Whether it be of God, whether
Right.
they are of God.
See that? So you're not supposed to believe every thought. Your thoughts are spirits, right? Or you're an angel, or somebody tells you an idea or something like that. You're not supposed to believe every idea, every thought, every spirit. You're supposed to try them whether they're of the Most High. So yeah, Book of Enoch, did we try it? Yeah. It's not with what the Most High said. It doesn't coincide with the Bible. Throw that out. You know what I mean? The Book of Enoch tell you that the angels came down and taught men how to play instruments and stuff like that. But it tells you that was after they were cast down. Well, y'all say that the angels were cast down in Genesis chapter 6. Well, in Genesis chapter 5, we're reading about the man that taught men how to play instruments. So how you get that? The timeline don't match up. See that? In Genesis chapter 5, you read about Tubal-Cain. He's the one that taught men how to be artificers in brass and play instruments. But y'all saying the angels did it in the Book of Enoch after they were cast down. So these wicked angels were cast out of heaven and decided to be teachers. Stuff don't add up. See that? So yeah, there's certain books we don't read out of just because they don't line up with the scriptures, and some of them just don't make no damn sense. I'm not reading out the Book of Urantia because they talk about how these different angels, different Christ, different this, different that. No, they don't line up with the Bible. All right? I'll be right back. I gotta get to the bathroom, but you're gonna have to just pause it, I guess. Yeah, let me know if any other questions come up.
You got the next question left around?
There's no question.
No, I'm saying he's gonna answer.
Can you purchase these books, or are they in the library,
Yeah, you can get them off of Amazon.
Amazon?
Books get expensive. The package.
Let's go there so you don't. All right, shalom. Sir.
Let them know online that that concluded the Sabbath reading and the questions and everything.
All right.
They can join us in about 10 minutes for the Hebrew.
All right. So that concluded the Sabbath reading, but you can join us for the Hebrew in about 10 minutes. We'll go over some of the Hebrew words. Shalom.